Hello. Welcome to the last stream. It's been a very, very long campaign. We've done a really crazy thing. If you're watching the stream now, you probably have been a part of this. But early days, campaign was looking kind of like it wasn't going to fund. Actually, I shouldn't even say kind of. It was like absolutely. A couple weeks ago, I was like, oh, man. Well, we gave it a shot. But now, today, we've hit our funding goal. Like, bam, right there. And that has a lot to do with, Commander Serious posted a video. And I think that was hit a lot of the Planetside 2 community, and everybody kind of rallied together and helped push this into a really cool direction. It's not that often that you see a campaign course correct as much as it has. I mean, usually statistically, like if you're not funded within the first 48 hours, you're probably not going to get funded within the last one, is my understanding. There's probably some actual information somewhere that's more accurate. But I talked to a lot of people who have crowdfunded games before. And they've given me good advice. I think that the first good advice the first very actionable advice that I was given is just like, push back the end date. You need more time to gather followers and stuff, which is a lot of the work that goes into a campaign is done like before the campaign actually launches. But I'm new to this particular industry and certainly new to crowdfunding. Have bought some stuff from crowdfunding campaigns in the past, but I never started one of my own. So it's been a really interesting experience start to finish. So thank you all for participating and supporting as much as you have. So Henry has been around for since the early days of even trying to get Distal started. So thank you very much, Henry. Always super supportive. Goki as well came in a little bit later, but always very supportive. And let's see, Wodrick is here in the chat too. Wodrick has always been super helpful, even way back, just so long as I've had the it was doing Planetside 2 content on YouTube. So thank you all, and thank you to the countless other. Listen, Koki. Maybe that's true. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, you're all my favorite children. But thank you all to not just the few that I mentioned, but the countless others who have kind of been behind the scenes. Even the folks who aren't able to actually make pledges. It's awesome to even have the morale boost. Hey, you can do it. Really believe in you. I'll try to spread the word, that sort of thing. It's all all of the pieces combined to make the whole, and it's been great. But that said, how this stream is going to work is that we're gonna there's a bunch of new people, a bunch of folks who are new to Distal, so we're gonna kind of walk the whole thing through. We're gonna start right at the very beginning with just what's up next. So I think it's funded, and then a bunch of stuff happens kind of rapid fire after that, but I'll walk through it. And then later in the stream, so about an hour from now, we're going to do some combat, just combat with some special guests. And how this is going to work is so I'll reiterate this multiple times, but BackerKit has this really cool feature. It's called overtime. And if people make a pledge during overtime, it extends the timer by another 10 minutes. I don't know how much traction we're going to get from, I think a lot of you have already, pledged, and please don't touch anything. It's like it's good. But for folks who are coming in, like seeing what the project is about and that sort of thing, if they pledge, they'll extend the time, and we'll just keep streaming. And more than that, every time somebody pledges, I'm going to throw in another creature. At least that's the goal. That might be boring. We'll have to see. But let's see how it goes. Hey, thanks, JFace. JFace has his own channel. Been very helpful. Bilby says he's been here since 2012, since he was in middle school during our PS2 days. Yeah, man. That's it's time is weird. Sell my other kidney for overtime. Please don't do that. It's all good. It's all fine and good. I'm very satisfied with hitting our goal. Koki says, so the serious question: how did you feel when you hit the goal and then the pledge number went down a little bit? So I'm learning a whole lot about this process, and it's interesting to me because people like I can see all the pledges and such, and when things get changed and canceled and that sort of thing, and you can see. So a lot of people have like committed a lot. They're like, hey, let's get you across the finish line. And I think a lot of those same people are like, okay, we don't want to overcommit if you're good, like, because the goal was to get us past the finish line, and we're there. So it totally makes sense for me. And then also you see cancellations kind of throughout the process, but toward the end. And also I expect that there's a lot of people who just don't know how crowdfunding works. So yeah. Was about to pledge and mentioned overtime. But oh man. Okay, well, good, because I really want to try to kill some characters. That's the goal. I have 2 guests that are coming on around 9 o'clock my time, so 50 minutes from now. And then we're just gonna keep hitting them with monsters. And every time we get some overtime, I'm gonna throw something else in, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. All right. Yeah, very too. Thank you very much for doing that. I really appreciate it. Everyone's gonna get some pretty dope stuff. It's just an awesome book. I'm so excited to make it. It'll be my first time doing any of that. All right, so let's walk through. First off, congratulations, you made it to the end. It's all your fault. But let's talk a little bit about how Distal works. Oh no, I forgot I didn't like really fully. Okay, well we'll see how the slideshow goes. So right after this campaign, so soon as we're done, what happens is that there's a 2-week window where any failed like credit cards that what do you call it when they just don't go through. You have 2 weeks to correct those payments, and then after that, money gets sent to me, and then I can start hiring people to do the art, because that's the biggest thing that I'm worried about, and it's what the majority of the funds for the campaign are going toward. For those of you who have, it's a handful who've gotten the $250 add-on for me to host a game for your table and 5 other people. There will be a calendar link that goes out after that 2-week payment or credit card correction period. So after I get the money, I'll send out the link, schedule whatever date makes sense. And you have up to a year to schedule the actual game. So take your time and coordinate with your friends, because that's the goal. Is like, it can be really, really difficult to get players to try a different game. But if you need somebody to like give them a little shove, you just say, hey, I scheduled this game with the author of the game, and he's going to walk us through it, and we're going to have fun. I'm going to build some characters, going to play the game, and we'll get to talk to him, learn more about it, see what the goals are for the future. Do that, and I can't imagine a group of people who would be like, nah. So anyway, use me as leverage. Totally works. Let's see what else. So then late June is the current timeline, but we need to see how the alpha play testing kind of works. Just released Alpha 6. So that's free. You could go download it right now. There's still some other stuff that needs to be added onto it. And also I found a bug that I would like to get a new version out, but just a single line that needs to get changed. But aside from that, the first beta packet should hit late June. That's the goal. Late June, maybe early July. And in the alpha packet, I'm going to try to get all of the, so a bunch more monsters so that you can play higher level stuff, and then also more work done for like the later levels of the game. That's the goal. I don't know if I'll go all the way up to 12 because I really want to feel the balance out and make sure that I'm doing things the right way. So, yeah. See what else we got. And then quarter 3, open beta is the goal. So quarter 3 is August, September, October? No. July, August, September. Sometime in there, we're going to kick off open beta. And, well, I guess it's all kind of open beta now. So how the beta is going to work is that anybody who's in the development Discord is going to be able to play it for free. The packets will continue to be digitally focused. And then in the background, I'm going to be doing layout work for the actual book. So I'll need to do a little bit of juggling because I want to keep everything in parity so that nothing gets dropped. But so all of the changes that we'll make into beta are going to be very, very, very deliberate so that I'm not tossing too many things up at the same time. And then for that final beta, that'll be early quarter 4. So probably like October-ish time period is the current timeline. And then I hope to have the digital version of the game shipped December, thereabouts. Not sure if that'll happen. We'll have to see because the final, the actual proper version is going to have all the art. It's going to have proper layouts and everything else. At that point, the book is basically done in the digital form, and then we go through the manufacturing process in the first 2 quarters of 2025. So that's the goal. That's the timeline. Everything is hopefully going to move smoothly. It'll depend on the amount of artists that we can get working. It'll depend on how crazy that sort of holiday time period is for manufacturers. And even into June, or rather January, February, there's like Lunar New Year is 10 days, I think, off at some point. So there will be like disruptions. So I'll keep everybody up to date. You'll still be getting campaign updates, and I think that I'll be doing that every month, regardless. So the pacing of updates are going to slow down once we get all the busy work done here in June, and then I'll just keep hitting you about once a month. I don't want to flood inboxes or anything like that, just to keep you appraised of how the process is going. That's the goal. All right. Moving on, let's talk about the game just a little bit. So for those who don't know anything about Distal, Distal is a D20-based fantasy role-playing game, and it's driven by a GM with a party of players. The themes of the world, I like to say that it's grounded, not gritty. It's still high fantasy, but it's not Shadow Dark. Like, it's not an OSR experience. We don't want to hack your limbs off when you turn down the wrong alleyway. We don't want you to touch a door and then die because you didn't knock. Like, the game is not about killing your characters. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about evolving them over time through the hardships that they face. When you think about heroic fantasy as a genre, Dungeons and Dragons labels itself that way. MCDM's RPG labels itself that way. DC20 labels itself that way. And Distal also, I guess, would label itself that way. But the idea of heroic fantasy is, I think we've gotten away from what it's really intended to, evoke as far as emotions go. So a lot of heroic fantasy games right now, they're just like you'll even start at level 1, like in other games, as a hero. It's like, yeah, you're heroic just because we say that you are. What have you done up to that point that made you heroic? You kind of have to figure that out. But for me, the most interesting part is watching a character evolve over time, watching that arc. So when I think of, I think a great example is just Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is very much a series about normal people, sometimes powerful people, but ultimately folks who are doing their self-sacrifice in spite of the odds. They are committing to the greater good. They're taking heroic action. They're not like, oh, yes, I'm a hero. You know, very Disney's Hercules sort of situation. Everybody's just, they're fighting against everything else that comes their way. And they know that if they fail, well, at least they tried. And that's what I feel like is missing from a lot of games, is that the ability to fail. You should have consequences to your action. You should have weight and gravity to your action or to your decisions, or else it's all, to me, it's very meaningless. You're like just kind of playing a video game at that point. And not like, there are plenty of amazing heroic moments that can be felt in games like Dungeons and Dragons, but one of the things that I have, or rather one of the feelings that I have when playing a game like 5e with multiple dungeon masters, is that it's hard to get them to really feel good about hurting my character. Maybe a little bit masochistic, but I want you to try to make my life difficult, because that struggle is ultimately what will create the value out the other side. I don't want to walk into a combat knowing that I'm going to succeed, because then it's like knowing the ending of a book. And I think it's so much more fun to discover a character as you play it. That's what the game is about in a lot of different ways. So that covers a lot of things. So meaningful stakes, just as an example, is there's some mechanics that kind of add that sort of gravity to the game. Growth through trials. Trials are experiences, not experience points. That's something that J-Face said in his kind of breakdown of the game, and I really grabbed onto it. You gain progress as you undergo trials, and trials are like hardships. It could be trying to make the best out of a no-win situation. It could be trying to fight just a heavy battle. It could be watching your friend die, or maybe you almost coming close to death. That's a trial. We mark it and say that something significant happened here. We should acknowledge that. And that's how you progress your character forward. So to walk into, like, what do you do in the world, right? Every character is considered a competent adventurer. What that means is that we don't really worry about, this isn't a survival game, and it's not a very simulationist experience, which means that we don't like track how much you've eaten or how many hours you've slept, or whether or not you have food. We kind of just assume that as an adventurer, you know how to take care of yourself. So instead of spending time really focusing on those areas of the game, we set them aside and say, like, yeah, you got it handled as long as it makes sense. and then we focus on the things that change the character's story, or the things that bring you closer together as a group, or the hardships that you face. That's what we focus our time on. As a player, a lot of this game is really about creating a cooperative narrative with your game master. Game master ultimately, adjudicates the game, but also facilitates the story that the players are telling about their characters. And a lot of the ways that we do that are through the creation of the characters, and we give you all sorts of hooks for those characters to grab onto. And we'll talk about that a little bit too, because one of the most impactful mechanics in the game is one that you face right up front. It's called backgrounds. So we'll get to that. Let me see if I can answer some quick questions. We'll do this kind of throughout too. Verituback says, I like that you effectively get battle scars for failure. That means that failing, meaning in failing as much as succeeding. Exactly. That's the goal, is that we want your failure to create opportunities for your character to grow. I know that it's funny. When building a game like this, I've gone through some stuff in my life. So I'm a little bit broken. And I think that many artists, just as an example, and creatives tend to be able to draw on those experiences, and it informs how they view the world, or at least what they project into it. And through that sort of that fractured glass holding the water that is my life, I've been able to, I guess, appreciate that every hardship that I've faced has brought me closer to something else, or reinforce some aspect of my being a person. So I don't know. So I'm like now putting that into like a game form. I don't know why it interests me so much, but it is what it is. Kelly Grubb says, one thing that is annoying about 5e is that attack rolls, rolling to miss your entire turn sucks a lot. Any plans to revamp that mechanic? So we'll get into some of that later, because I don't think that attack rolls are... I don't think they're a bug in the game. I don't know that there's no value in having them. I think that what it should do more often, and we try to do that, and I'll show you later. But we try to turn it into like an option. Like, do you eat your failure, or do you like kind of push through it and try to get a little bit more out of it? So we make it a decision for the player, basically. Not as much as a game like Dragonbane, which I think is probably, I really like. I haven't gotten to play it yet, but I really, really like Dragonbane, because it feels very grounded and sort of like the experience that I am trying to provide with Distal. But the way that they approach things, so many things are different. But that's one of those games where I'm like, oh, I really like what they're doing here. Let's talk about backgrounds. So when you're creating a character, you'll pick your lineage, which is your race or species or what have you. And then you'll create a... Oh, my dog is barking. Well, hopefully that doesn't cause too many problems. You'll create your background. So your background is, it informs a lot of your character mechanically and narratively. It is and it kind of also sets the tone for the experience that you can expect as a player of the game. So we encourage you to roll up your backgrounds. The way that we construct a background is with 2 sentences and 4 different prompts rolled on tables. So you see the little image on screen here is so these tables are what you roll on. The sentence is, I grew up, prompt, and my days were spent, prompt. So that's the first sentence. And then I became, prompt, the day, prompt. So you can come up with things. Actually, I'm see if I can look at my little sheet here. So if you were to roll up like, I grew up destined for greatness, you'd gain +1 to performance, +1 to religion, +1 otherworldly contact, which is something we'll talk about later. And then, so I grew up destined for greatness, and my days were spent, if I was doing some rolling, promoting a cult. What kind of character would that be? What would their life have looked like? Would they have been sort of like a chosen one for all the wrong reasons? Maybe their cult was just like the village that they grew up in, that unknowingly or just like willingly served some sort of god, and you kind of just bought into that because that was just like normal life for you. And they always told you that, oh, you're going to do great things. Then you go out into the world and realize that all that was nonsense, or things don't quite line up. So a lot of these prompts, they inform who your character was, what sort of past trauma they may have endured. And then we figure out like an inciting incident, basically, that changed their life, changed their trajectory, so that they became, an adventurer of some variety. And that's what happens in the second sentence. So through this background generation, you also have, I mean, totally could be true. So in this background creation, you'll also come up with contacts. So the otherworldly contact, like it might be some divine voice that only manifests because of, or like in light. So you'll see light, glimmer, and then you'll take it as a sign or whatever. So in these contacts are very real. They have to, so there's three main goals. They have to like provide, they have to push the character's story forward. They have to provide you something of value. And then there's one more design goal that I can't remember, but it's in the book. And both the player and the GM, you need to be able to pursue contact with them. So the player and the GM you need to have a conversation at that point. It's like, how does this work into the story? They could be the big bad. And the GM will be like, that's a tasty treat. I'm going to use that from your character, motivate your story beats. It's going to make sense. And it will, because it's grounded in the world. It's grounded in the decisions that you've made or like rolled up on this character. Bark Dog says, could I roll 4 Nemesis contacts? So in the new version of the game, no. You'll only ever have 3 things at most. Because we take the third prompt and actually kind of expunged some of the stuff that you could get from it. But yeah, so that shouldn't happen. But 3 Nemesis contacts. Okay, so here's the thing too, is that we say on every sort of page that, hey, if you're playing like a one-shot, if you're playing just a short series of adventures, or if you just have too many contacts and you don't really want to deal with it, you could just don't do that and then give yourself 1 gold. And in that, or like a coin, which is an abstract measurement of currency in this game. So we allow you to tailor it to like the type of game that you're playing, because this game it's meant for long form campaigns, but totally play it just by like, sitting down for a session. Cool. Thank you, GamePro. We bet that's a name that I haven't heard in a very, very long time. Hey, thanks. All right. So let's talk. So many mechanics. Okay, real quick. We're going to move into like a mechanics section. I originally wanted the slideshow to be like point by point, so there's going to be a lot of text on screen. But try to focus on my words and less on the screen. There's a bunch of really cool mechanics and design ideas in this game that set it apart from other modern D20 systems. And hopefully I'll be able to talk about some of the mechanics and some of what I hope are innovations. And hopefully I do a decent job of that. But the first one is so as you're playing through the game, it's a very combat heavy experience. I would say it's really combat heavy. Tactical combat, very similar to Dungeons and Dragons. If you play D&D 5e or 3.5 or Pathfinder, you should be able to pick up this game super, super quick. And there's a lot of reasons for it, but it was specifically designed to feel familiar, but totally unique or totally distinct, I would say. And as soon as you walk through that character creation process, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I get it. And very, very intentional. So please go download Alpha Packet 6. Give it a shot. So let's talk about the individual mechanics. So there are no revive spells in this game. And healing is not as useful as stopping the damage before it hits your health. One of my pet peeves from 5e Dungeons and Dragons is yo-yo healing. For those of you who don't know, if you fall unconscious in D&D, as long as you get healed for 1 point of health, you stand back up. I never liked that. It felt like it was kind of hand waving the consequences. At the same time, there was like this weird paradigm to where, based on the turn order, you could just get like insta-gibbed, like you sit on the ground for a little bit, but like, oh, there's a couple of monsters next to you. Well, I guess they're just going to both attack you and then you die. Most GMs aren't that harsh, but there's just some like mental gymnastics that they have to jump through so that they don't kill your character. And that was never like it. It's not fun for the GM to have to go through and figure out why they shouldn't just kill your character. Especially for mobs that are monsters that like it makes sense that they would do that. So one of the ways that we kind of get around that is by focusing on mitigating damage instead of healing you back. And there's penalties if you go down, which we'll talk about now. Oh, so actually real quick. So armor buffers, everybody, when you're wearing armor, you still have a to hit class or a defense. So that is the roll that the enemy needs to beat in order to hit you. And then your armor, say that they hit you, your armor can ablate some of that damage. So you roll your armor die, and if it's against an appropriate type, then you take the number on the die and you subtract that from the total. It's very clean, and as you use your armor, it risks becoming damaged. And the way that we do that is like when you roll that armor die, every time you're soaking damage, if it rolls a 1, the die shrinks to the next step. And if you roll 1 on a d4, the armor's compromised until you repair it again some other time. So we have this, what I feel is a fairly elegant way to track durability and mitigate damage at the same time in a way that hopefully feels good. But you could let me know. The next mechanic, Deathmarks. So if you ever fall unconscious, so go to 0 health, you start accruing Deathmarks. These are permanent, as in they don't go away, marks against your character. And you can have a fair amount of them before you die. But once you reach the maximum, you're dead forever. So every time you go down, it's you're getting less and less likely to stand back up. After you go down, you accrue Deathmark. Every round after that, you're gonna get another Deathmark. And so you really want your allies to stabilize you, because your soul is trying to leave your body, trying to depart across the ebb and deep, this infinite abyss of darkness. And your friends, your party, is hopefully going to try to keep you around. Incendium DM says, Deathmarks is some of my favorite mechanics in your game. Cool. I dig it. Our Deathmarks... So Kelly says, are Deathmarks permanent scars on your character like a lost eye? So here's the other thing. After combat, how many Deathmarks did you accrue? Hopefully not many, because when you wake back up, you're stabilized, your friends patch you up. What are the consequences of falling over? In 5e, it's just like, I'm fine. I got better. In Distal, it leaves a lasting scar. So you choose which a pip of one of your skills to cross off. You don't have access to that anymore. The bonuses go up to +4. So if you have 4 points into stealth, you'd have a +4 to stealth. But if you want to sacrifice one of those, scratch it off, you'll only ever have a +3. The way that you explain that is by when you were damaged in combat, maybe, somebody shot an arrow through your knee and it just does not function anymore. Hopefully the Skyrim reference gets across, but or maybe when you fell in combat, your perception is diminished because you got slashed across the eye. Maybe you no longer have an eye. We leave that to you to decide. The way that you explain the death marks on your character will inherently change your outlook on the world. But thank you. But you also gain a small bump to your maximum health. So much like scar tissue deadens the nerves that surround it, you too become more resilient to death the closer you get to it. There's also some other benefits too, like you can, so every even level you get a specialty, which is basically a feat from 5e. And some of those specialties have requirements on them that say hey, you have to have X amount of death marks in order to get this. And so it allows you to figure out how much you want to lean into death. Like how much are you now associating your being with the concept of it? Another mechanic. So Kelly had mentioned earlier that feeling like a missed attack is a wasted turn. One of the ways that we try to combat that is that every character, or class rather, has a willpower die. And a willpower it's an extra die that you can roll, but it's a limited resource. Only occurs during combat. Let's see, you can use it to increase your chance to hit. So if you roll a d20 and you get like a 12, if the defense of the monster is like a 14, you're like, oh, okay, I really want to hit it. I got a really good chance if I spend a willpower. So you roll the willpower. Small chance you probably don't get the hit, but chances are you do. And then you land the hit, roll your damage. Same thing for if you're trying to resist an effect that's taken place. So we have some really nasty monsters in the game. Well, there's one in particular that is super, super nasty, and it can petrify you forever. This is a choice, though. Not choice to petrify, it's a choice for the GM whether or not that monster even goes in the game. And we call it out. We say hey, this monster going to jack up your day. That's what it's for. That's what it's here for. That if you have characters or players who really want just a hardcore old school experience, you're like, yeah, this adventure is going to be about this basilisk that can petrify you. So if you're trying to roll to avoid the poison, and then eventually that paralyzing gaze, which only occurs while you're poisoned, you might want to invest your willpower and say like, oh, I don't want to lose my character forever. Like I really got to roll my willpower. So Tin says, going to be a monster that can break a whole run. So again, there's only one monster in the game like that currently, and we call it out specifically. It is a dooming monster, and you do not need to fight it. It is specifically for players who want an old school challenge. So yeah, like totally brick your whole run. That is a decision that the GM would really have to think hard about. And also it's one of those monsters that you'd want to structure an entire adventure around so that the players can prepare. Because it feels rewarding on the other side when you do. Yeah. Only one of those, but there's going to be more. It's a really I think it's a really fun concept. But so that actually kind of gets us into the tiered health values. So you do not gain extra health every level. You gain so everything's basically separated into 4 tiers, and then the monsters are as well. Your first health bump, or rather, so at level 1, your health is like 2 times the maximum, and plus the bonus from your class. And then you don't get another health bump until level 4. And what this does, so this tiering, it's every 4 levels. It allows the GM to have like a bunch of monsters that they know that they're always safe to throw at you because you're within a relative level range. And then things scale up in difficulty. And you can choose whether or not to use an earlier tier monster to make things less challenging, or bump it up to a higher tier monster and then just make that a focal point of the experience. And the math is done in such a way where the monsters they're going to scale faster than your characters will. So once you get to the point where you're fighting really strong monsters, it's actually going to feel like you're fighting really strong monsters. Contrast that with Dungeons and Dragons, where it's very difficult to give your players a challenge because their characters are just so strong, and the spells that they gain access to are just so strong. We want the highest levels of play to be as fun as the lowest levels of play. That's the goal. So, designing a system from the ground up gives us the opportunity to shape that experience, and hopefully we do it. So the last one that I really want to talk about is monster behaviors. You're going to see some of this as we run into our combat sort of section. But all the monsters in the game, they have a small list of behaviors. And behaviors they're very similar to like actions, but they're meant to be more flavorful and purposeful and theme players to, or rather theme the monsters to the role in the world. So when you're fighting against a wolf, it's going to feel like a wolf, and it's going to rely on the other wolves. If you're fighting I guess like skeletons, which that's the encounter that I have set up. You can use them as like a horde of skeletons, and it will feel hopefully like an encroaching horde of skeletons. I want to give other examples, but it's kind of a little bit difficult to do that. So there's one monster in the game that I'm really I have a lot of fun with. So all the monsters feel super unique, but one that I think is really fun is that there is a It's like not a mechanical dog. It's like an amalgamation of these of just metal pieces. It's an elemental, and it eats metal. Not in the same way that a rust monster would, but that's like its whole thing, and it can kind of like disassemble itself and become very difficult to hit. It can fling a part of its body just off and hit you from a long distance, even though it's not meant to be a long distance creature, but it damages itself because it's lost a part of itself. It can vibrate intensely, which like rattles your armor apart and like degrades it. There's some really cool stuff that's going on. But it's just like constantly, like it just wants to devour metal. That's its purpose. And there's so many more mechanics in the game. Like the way that we do attributes or ability scores in 5e is they're separate from your skills. Like you don't need to be dexterous to be stealthy. Skill or stealth is a skill, because when you think about it, it's like how many ways are there to be stealthy? Are you the traditional sort of rogue that's hiding around corners and being a pseudo like acrobat, or are you just like smart? Like, are you blending in with the crowd? Are you watching the guards' path? Are you, and just like when they look away, like, where they're going to patrol and you can just avoid them that way. How do you use stealth? Same thing with influence, which is, so influence is a skill. It's not charisma as an attribute, because you see this in 5e too, to where like, why can't we intimidate with our strength? The way that we kind of get around some of this, instead of like creating optional rules for everything, is that we've moved the skills into their own sort of area, and we let you decide. So when you're influencing somebody, how are you doing it? Are you trying to intimidate them? Are you trying to coerce them? Are you trying to persuade them? Are you trying to deceive them? That's all just one skill. And narratively, you figure out what you want to do, and then the GM is going to respond and say like, okay, this is the DC that I'm going to set based on the way that you're trying to engage with this encounter or this interaction. So there's a bunch of that stuff. There's so much. Please check out the alpha. It's wicked dope. Let's see. So speaking of the alpha, it is free right now. If you go to the, well, actually, so the Play This RPG is going to link you back to the backer kit, which you may be watching this on currently. But in the Discord, we have the game materials ready for download. And Alpha 6 just dropped recently. It's got so many changes and improvements, and the whole layout is better. Just it's prettier to look at. And character sheets are updated and that sort of thing. Did a lot of work. So much work. But that's available now, so you can pick it up. And it's free. All the alpha stuff is free. That's going to be the last alpha, however, because they're moving right into beta. And beta is going to be like, you need to be in the Discord to do that. I'm not going to post any more links. Well, who knows? I might change my mind. But the goal is to like try to keep things to the development Discord so that we can all interact and talk about the game and give feedback and that sort of thing. All right. I think we are just about ready. Luke says, I love the game. Looking forward to trying the alpha. Congrats on the funding. Thank you. Thank you very much. Also, thank you for the support on Twitter. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. If it eats my armor, can I smelt the elemental down and smith it into new armor? I don't know. Yes? Question mark. There's loot on various monsters in the game, and some of it's like a harvest. So you get metal plates from those particular creatures. So hey, sure, why not? Shattered Starful says, saw that hit skull. Congrats, good to see. Thank you. I really appreciate the community coming together. Duty says, is this a game for true beginners? I don't think so. A lot of the design of Distal is done in such a way that If you're familiar with Dungeons and Dragons 5e or 3.5, it'll make sense. I don't. Well, okay, so personally, the way, at the very least, the alpha material is set up, if you're totally new to TTRPGs, it might be a rough time to figure out what's going on, just because the concept is, having talked to people about this, the concept is very abstract of just like how you play a TTRPG in general. Novi says, have to leave a bit early. Super happy for the successful funding. Thank you very much, Novi. I appreciate it. Ronan says, happy for you following your journey since it started Daybreak with PS2. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. It's going to be really, really fun to make this game. Let's see. What else we got going on? Double G85. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's awesome. And yeah, absolutely. Ugh, hardcover. It's going to be so dope. It's going to be so dope. Okay. All right, let's get ready to shift over to some combat. Actually, why don't we just chit chat for a little bit? I'll bring on some guests, and then we'll be able. Okay, I'll bring on guests in a little bit. There's a little bit. I'm going back and forth in conversation. They need a little bit of time. But yeah, totally feel free to ask questions. Let's see. GamePro said, so with how wounds build your character and also increase max health, does that mean coming across someone missing an arm and leg with scars all over is probably the tankiest NPC? Maybe. Okay, so the way that we abstract, or rather the excuse that we use to justify leveling in the game is that leveling represents your mostly your martial expertise. And so if you see an old person, they're not necessarily super strong. It's because they may not have had that much experience. But if you see this particular character that you're describing, yeah, probably. Sounds very scary. Let's see. How long are the instructions, not including the setup? The setup meaning game session prep. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of what I was getting at with being difficult to describe. Here's what I would suggest: is as you're going through and reading the alpha packet, just follow the steps, create a character. That might take you an hour, maybe. Hopefully I have enough guidance. For folks who've played TTRPGs before, it should go much quicker. But it also depends on how much you're investing into those characters. And then setting up the actual game, like preparing for an adventure, I would say use the quick start, because that has actually, the quick start even has pre-generated characters, so you don't even need to think about it. And then there's a built-in adventure that you can run right from the quick start. It's all in one package. It still needs to get updated to the latest version of the alpha, but you can play it right now. And also the quick start has a pared down list of rules, so a smaller list that focuses on the stuff that you're probably going to experience while you're playing through the quick start. So it's a really good place to kind of like jump in and feel your way around, and you should be able to run it with your friends just like right off the back of the quick start. You may not even necessarily need to. A lot of games for adventures that have you like they'll suggest that you kind of read through everything before read through an entire adventure before running it. But for the quick start, I think I've set it up in such a way that you should be able to just walk through it step by step and talk to your players at the same time, and everything should work out. I don't know if that actually answers your question, but hopefully it helps. The total playtime of the quick start from start to finish is like 2 to 3 hours. Cool. Okay. Are we ready? Okie dokie. If there are any other questions, please feel free to mention them in chat. I'm going to bring on some guests. We'll chat for a little bit, and we'll see if we can pull off this combat session. We have an hour currently. An hour is until the campaign ends. An hour is a really long time to be running combat, so I don't know that we necessarily want to do that the entire time. But let's see. We'll chit chat a little bit. Let's see. I'm gonna add Steph to the stage. Add Kitty to the stage. Cool. So if you have followed us for a long while, you may know these two characters on your screen. So I don't know. I don't really feel like we need to necessarily go through introductions.
We are people. We are here.
They're people.
Hello. I may or may not be a person.
Yeah, could be AI. You really don't know nowadays. Let's see. So just to give some background, Steph and Kitty have been they've been playing Distal since early iterations. They have not played the latest version that was recently released.
So I'm hoping I did the things right.
We'll see. We will have to see. One of your characters has a shield, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I wanted to test it. You could punch with the shield now, or you could bash with the shield. Did you notice that it has damage on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So we got two characters with shields.
Yeah, no, actually, both of my characters ended up with shields. I rolled, and they both got bucklers. So
awesome. Oh, okay. Okay. So two dexterity characters. Interesting.
yeah.
All right. Got some questions in chat real quick.
I got questions too. I'm just waiting for the write up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Let's see. As an independent game developer, do you have any concerns regarding copyright infringement or similar issues? I don't.
Well, I'm sure you were thinking of it all the way through.
Right. Like none of the stuff that I have created would infringe. And as far as other people biting my work, at least in the US, as you write, your stuff is automatically copyrighted or protected under copyright law. The imagery, there's a little bit of jankiness with when you're calling out to safeguard images. It's a little bit more important for copyright, at least from what I have read. But overall, I'm not super fussed over it. I think I've done all the stuff that I need to do to safeguard my work to a sufficient degree. It'd be really obnoxious to have to go after anybody for legal on this stuff, though. I'm just a dude building games. Let me build games. Steph, did you have a question?
No, my hand just happens to be here, but I do want mott sticks if we win.
Mozzarella sticks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, sure.
That's what. Yeah.
Where did that come up? Oh, okay.
Right there.
There we go. I was like, oh, wait, that's so random. Thank you, Yaga, by the way, for helping out with the campaign. I appreciate it. I appreciate all you folks. Let's see. Todd Kane says, what would you say a system needs to be considered ready as a starting point for the purposes of marketing, playtesting things on like backer kit? Oh, that's a good question. So let me just start from a step before this one and advise that if you're trying to make a system, don't make one like I'm making it, please. This game is so sprawling that there's a lot of work that needs to be done to give it a full form. It's not competing against Dungeons and Dragons directly, but it's in the same vein where there's the same quantity of like work going into a hardcover for the rules and that sort of thing. It's way easier to start with something smaller. So make a small RPG that you know that you're probably going to lose money on, and because that's how things tend to go. But put it up on like itch.io and have folks just try to build a following, because that's the hardest part with any of this, is finding enough people to care about what you're doing. And an easy way to do that is to do the doing, create, write, continue to do that over and over and over. I am in a very, I would say, fortunate position where I come from an games industry background. I do a lot of design. I really love doing that. I write all the time. However, in the TTRPG space, one of the reasons that getting this backer kit campaign to the funding point was so difficult is because I didn't have that following, that credibility in the industry. Like most of you folks, PlanetSide 2 folks. And I'm fortunate enough to have that sort of background and people who care about the experience that I've tried to provide on PlanetSide 2, and that folks are willing to like support my current endeavors. So not everybody's going to have that. Also, if you do put anything on backer kit, set the price really low. That was a mistake that I made. There's going to be a whole retrospective on all of this, and I have so many opinions. But I think I don't even know if I'm answering this question.
What does smaller mean? How do you do it smaller? Because I feel like every piece of this like makes sense, but so where can you, like, what do you cut out? What do you not develop? Or are you just building on stuff that's in Creative Commons or SRD or whatever, and then you just slowly add your own stuff?
Right. So yeah, when I would say smaller, there are many TTRPGs out there that are super small, like a handful of pages, or sometimes a single page.
How? Are they just really non-specific? Like they're super open-ended?
No. They have their own world. They have their own rules. We are not used to that because we come from a background of Dungeons and Dragons where everything is very rules heavy. A lot of games aren't like that. Actually, somebody to emulate would probably be Jess Online, who I follow on Twitter. They built a game actually using like very in the theme of PlanetSide 2 and made it into a TTRPG. They've done really, really cool work. Let's see. Yeah,
what was the game that we played? Remember we played a game at the dojo with
Savage
Master
Worlds.
Aaaand, Savage Worlds. Yeah, is that like smaller?
Savage Worlds is people describe it as kind of somewhere in between a rules heavy game and a rules light experience because there's so much left to interpretation. D&D very rules heavy because things are so structured. Rules light is the opposite, where you kind of like it's more conversational, and when you choose to roll, if there's rolling at all, is like super contextual. I don't know. I guess it's difficult to explain. Anyway, there's a whole world of tabletop role-playing games out there that is very hard to share with people because it's just such an abstract concept when compared to the monolith that is D&D.
Yeah, no, I can't even picture how you would.
Yeah, I'll have to find some and send some over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Does Daggerheart kind of land in the middle of that too?
No, actually. So Daggerheart it tries to bill itself as okay. I want to be very careful not to pivot this conversation in too far about other systems, but uh, to define kind of that distinction, Daggerheart does have a lot of rules structure, but the decisions that you're making they feel more narrative based. I don't think that diminishes the fact that it is still a rules heavy experience. Some people have called it rules light. It's not the case. You're wrong. Uh, it's somewhere like in between, based on. No, I still think it's rules heavy. It's just the interpretation that kind of changes things. So Todd Kane says my system is about 100-ish pages, but it's almost entirely just player-sided mechanics and rules. Is it necessary to have a roster of monsters or adventure advice and examples to be considered ready? Oh, I see what you're saying. So for testing purposes, no, you can just start doing that stuff now. And also do that stuff now. Testing is very, very important because a lot of your ideas are going to be wrong. And you don't know that because things will make sense on paper, but will feel bad in play. I go through that all the time. It's really fun to see when an idea falls down and surround yourself with the right people who can give you good feedback on that. But my playtest or my alpha material, it does have some advice for new players, but in the earlier days, it didn't. Like there wasn't even a section for it. And the preface says specifically where like this is not a good introduction to D20 games or to tabletop role-playing games. But it is a good introduction to this particular system. So I'm drawing on people's experience from the most popular role-playing game in the world. So that is something to consider. I don't think that everything needs to be spelled out. There's even an argument to be made where depending on the system that you're creating, you should just do a totally different starter pack or a quick start guide and just let that be all the beginner stuff, and then just put the actual play material in there, in your core rules or whatever. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm doing something similar.
Unfortunate. That's cool. Good for you.
Yeah, I came from a set of 5e homebrew rules that became less and less 5e and more and more. Yeah, so that's how a lot of us start. It is. Yeah, but I don't know that it's the place that we should start. Like if I would have started over, I think that I would have created a smaller game, because I could have gotten something fun together quickly and shipped. And that is the experience that I should have been needing, or like that's a normal path that you should walk, especially if you haven't done material for TTRPGs in the past. So I don't want to keep hammering those questions, but it's all good stuff, Todd. I don't have concrete answers for you on it, but I would like to release like a retrospective at some point of this particular campaign, and then that'll talk a little bit about the system too, and hopefully it'll provide a little bit more clarity to kind of that overarching question.
You and John have been doing those podcast videos together, and John from Dragon Mind is also building a system too, so that might be an interesting conversation for the two of you to really, because those are like really meaty questions, so that could be fun for you guys to dive into.
Actually, since we're on the topic of that, if you check out my YouTube channel, you're on YouTube right now, you're there. It's I'm streaming to multiple platforms. Check out the discussion that John and I had about homebrew, or whole new is the title of the episode. Look at that. Yeah, it's because we do talk a lot about that. Like, when should homebrew become your own system? So maybe there's something in there that has value, but I think that question still warrants discussion for sure. Okay, all right. Pigeonhole says, last minute backer, Commander Serious sends his regards from PS2. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, all right. I am sweating buckets in this room, and I
Because you're ready to owe us lots of mozzarella sticks.
Might
And
be
you're
the
wearing
case.
a fleece
Well,
in a
the fleece is
notorious
there.
Hollywood space.
The fleece is there to cover up the fact that I haven't done laundry in so long because I'm just running out of shirt. This one's clean. Full disclosure, this one's clean. I just don't like all the
Sure.
Spartan Run imagery that's on. I can. Okay. Um, did I recover? Okay. Cool. Let's see. Okay. Let us. Hey, Lancer, what's up? All right. All right. Okay. Stop. Make it stop. All right. I'm going to open up alchemy.
Yeah, am I supposed to be in there? Because I don't know that I am.
Yeah. Why don't you jump in there? But Kitty, you were saying that you couldn't get two characters to show up. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it prompted me to make one, and then I did. And now I
Okay.
don't know how to do that again.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wonder if there's even I wonder if there's even functionality to run multiple characters.
I don't know if there
Oh.
is. I can create a tracker on this character and just name it my other character.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's use a party of two then. And
Okay.
then when those two characters die, we'll just move on to
Oh,
another
okay.
batch of characters.
Cool.
And yeah, let me try to get some stuff in front of me here. So I only had time to set up one monster in alchemy. So I'm kind of winging it. Or I will.
Yeah,
need
so
to
speaking
wing it.
of winging it, did you send me the link for the alchemy?
I can do that now. Well,
Send me
so
helpful.
it's an invite that you. It seems like you've gotten based on what I'm seeing on my screen, because it shows you in there. It just says that there's no character selected. So actually, I'm sure this is thrilling for our viewership.
I know. Distal demo, Arc 1?
No,
No.
nope. It's a different one now. I think it says like Distal and something.
Yeah,
or
I think
another.
it said like finale or.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Distal's end stream?
There we go.
That
There you
sounds...
are.
Listen, interlude. Hi, John.
Hey, we were just talking about John.
Yeah.
He knew.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good
cool.
things. Good
So,
things.
all right. I see characters in now, or at least one. It says character template.
I'm working on it.
Okay, cool. All right. So why don't we just talk a little bit about
One character?
Let's do one character. Let's talk a little bit about what Kitty created
Mm-hmm.
and the one that you're going to play first.
Okay. So I created a Wild Walker Jester, and her name is Marnie. So as a Wild Walker, she can change shape. I chose the shape of a lynx because I thought that would be fun. And as one of her bloodline traits, I picked Natural Shifter, so she can transform into her animal shape, but she can still speak and has the ability, or can use her abilities as she normally would. And I'm going to see how far you'll let me take that.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it
as
sounds
a
kind of funny
jester-
with a jester. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So she's going to be bouncing around doing some fun tricks.
Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting. So Kitty had mentioned a wild walker, which is a lineage, species, race, whatever. That is, they are considered like blessed, possibly cursed by.
Those are two very different things.
Yeah, well, it depends on your interpretation.
Mhm.
But they interact a lot with like elves, and a lot of them probably historically maybe used to be elves until something happened. But wild walkers just have like like they'll have claws, or they'll have antlers, or they'll have hooves, some sort of woodland creature element to them, and then they can also shapeshift into that animal that they chose. Let's see. Lanzer is asking, Kitty and Stephanie involved in Distal's development. They are playtesters and good friends. So.
We're the cheerleaders! Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
I left my pom poms downstairs.
We'll do without the pom poms.
Oh, I'm trying to see what I can improvise. Anyway.
And then let's see, Steph, what'd you create for a character?
What do you think? I bet everybody should know what I made. No, I did make an elf this time, but it's ferryman because I love ferryman.
Okay.
My favorite.
All right. So a ferryman is it's a class that deals a lot with death, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And an elf is an elf.
Yeah.
That's what you'd expect.
So as a ferryman, like the whole unique thing is that they start with a death mark. They're all touched by death from the beginning. Does that mean I lose a pip? I lose a yes, Sharon based class. Exactly. Bark dog.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do I lose a knowledge point right out of the gate?
Yes.
That's stupid. Okay.
Well, it's not knowledge, it's a skill, so even more stupid.
Ew!
Yeah.
I don't need that one, but I only have 2. What happens if I die and I don't have skill points to take off?
I need to come up with some rules for that. Because yeah, there's some balance, some numerical balance that needs to be touched upon just with that mechanic in general, but that's pretty solid.
Do
All
you
right.
need a hand to hold a buckler?
What, do you want your hand to fall off?
I don't know. Well,
Okay.
if I'm losing, all right. So I only have 8 in engineering, and I feel like I'm really in love with Aaaand. I did give this one a different name, but the whole like death doula thing, I'm really in love with that idea. So I don't want to lose aid because aid is like more in line with that, but I don't need engineering. I ended up with engineering randomly. So if I like lose a couple fingers or something, pew. Can I still hold a buckler? Bucklers are like on your arm, aren't they?
Yes.
Do you I can't remember. Do you grip them or are they just on your arm?
You have 3 fingers left, that's fine.
But you don't need it if you glue it to your forearm.
I'm not going to stress over how many fingers you have. I don't think that's what the goal of the game is. Okay.
Creative solutions.
But I have.
Yes.
Did I gain a health point?
That's already factored in to your early health. It mentions that as well. So you'll see the health bonus that says it says +3 to start instead of +2.
But my other one had +3 also.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't know they were different. I just assumed they were all the same.
Got it.
Reaper elf.
Yeah. Shape-shifting chest of the cat. Cheshire cat. I could totally see. That's dope. All right. Okay, we're gonna move into it. So listen, this is how things are gonna work. We're gonna move into alchemy, and I'm gonna pull that to the stage here. This is a virtual tabletop, which allows you to play the game in a digital space. So for those of you who are very new, this is not the game. This is like the name would imply, a tabletop. So it's kind of whatever you want it to be. It could play all sorts of different types of tabletop role-playing games. And an Alchemy VTT in general has or I think it's actually Alchemy RPG, has a really like immersion-focused sort of atmospheric motif to it. Which is why I like it.
Yeah, no, having done almost exclusively Roll20, there's some clunky functionality, but a lot of that's centered around the fact that when we play, we like to type out our stuff. But this game has beautiful like mechanics or user interface, whatever.
For sure. I think my biggest problem is that it was pretty laggy last time we played, but we'll see if that holds up because they've definitely made some optimizations. Okay. So do I
I
have
remember
any
this
sounds on?
place.
Yeah, it is a map by Che Peku. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I could totally be wrong. And there's a bunch of different variations for it. The last one that you saw was a snowy place. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, family stream using Alchemy VTT. You still do video on VTT? If I only... Wait, could we...
There's a second comment.
Oh, could... I think yes. I know why you're asking that question, but I think the answer is yes. Okay, so we're going to shift over to the tactical mode here, which is a... and Kitty's character went offline for reason. This is a weird thing about Alchemy VTT too. I think if you switch your screen or like go to a different tab, it's going to show you as offline.
Got it.
Might be the case.
I'm in a different tab.
I think I wonder if I was just away without clicking on stuff for long enough.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, what the heck? I guess
I have another question.
Yes.
Okay. So for cantrips, how much does it matter to have like proficiency in the spellcasting ability?
You only
have to.
You do need 1 point. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. No, you don't have to. Cantrips are as long as you can cast spells, you can choose from any school. It's fine.
Okay. Cool.
Let's see. Kiersey says, I'm firmly committed to Foundry, but I do think Alchemy is pretty cool. Yeah, I never went in on Foundry. And it seemed, I don't know, I can't remember why. I think it seemed like it was just really heavy. And Alchemy is kind of, I feel like it's pretty light overall. Let's see. Duty says, I'm confused. Does this game require a chessboard to play? No, but also kind of yes. You know what? So for this question in particular, it might be helpful to go check out other TT RPG like folks playing at home on YouTube or something, just so you can get a feel of how the whole flow works. But the game, when it becomes tactical, it's played on what's called a battle map, and that's what you see before you. So each character is going to take up a 5 foot. Actually, let me try to. Can I drop a token in here? Can you drop a token in here?
Let me see if I can.
But it'll take up. Actually, I'm just gonna add some of the NPCs we got going on. Boop, boop.
I can't remember how to add a token.
Cool. I'm gonna just drop one of these bad boys on the screen if I can. Ah, oh my goodness. Token. Okay, you go. Oh my goodness. Click to play. Okay. All right. So there's a token up on the screen. All the characters would have tokens too, or miniatures that kind of represent their characters. Or you can do this with like coins or M&Ms or whatever you have access to, or dice themselves. And the way that you'll play the game is by go through all the combat rules and all that sort of thing. But based on you'll have a certain amount of movement that you can move per turn, and a virtual tabletop like this helps facilitate that experience. Let's see. Oh, Slider says you don't always need a battle map. You can do Theater of the Mind when it's more narrative. What do you want to do? Absolutely 100% true. And it'll really come down to your style of play. But if you're new to the game or in tabletop role playing games in general, yeah, I'd say give a video of other folks playing it online. It might be helpful just to kind of like wrap your head around the idea. Okay. All right. Well, we don't have awesome music. You know, actually, hold on. I'm gonna try to fix that. Wait a second. I really want this for us.
For what it's worth, I can't see your token on my map.
Yeah, me either.
Good.
Hmm.
Stop looking at the screen.
Oh, I can see it.
No.
I scroll way out or zoom way out.
Okay. Well, it says that it has encounter music. In order for me to find music, I will need to play music. Just like, nah. This is the this is like the longest, most time consuming part of the experience is just finding visuals and such to use. Okay, so you know what? We're not. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Going back to alchemy, I'm a professional. Okay. All right, I'm going to throw some tokens up on the board, and then we're going to see how this goes. And I'm going to have to figure out how to use alchemy. Okay, we're just going to roll with that for now. All right, so switch over to your tactical mode. And we're strictly going to do combat. This game is not strictly combat, just so that everybody at home is aware. But we're gonna play it through. I'm gonna keep populating the map with problems, and then our two intrepid would-be heroes are gonna try to deal with it.
So can you put me on the map? Because I can't do that.
Oh, you can't. Okay, let's see. Oh.
Why does my token not show up as my name?
Yeah, you know what?
So this is why playing in person can sometimes be easier.
Yeah. I would actually say playing in person is always easier.
There are
Okay.
benefits to both. Oh, that's me.
That's you.
Oh,
And why do I not see? I don't see Kitty's character.
I see her on my screen.
Does your screen look like my screen?
I can roll. Let me see. Yes. Well, I see the map. Let me exit tactical and go back in. Because I do not see Kuro on my map.
Oh, okay. So this is another issue with alchemy, is that sometimes you do get desynced, and maybe that happened when you went offline. So yeah, just getting out of everything and then getting back in might solve that problem.
Okay. Maybe just do a refresh. Okay.
Yeah.
Refresh.
Oh, I can move my character now. Hey, Marnie.
Hey,
that
Marnie.
worked. When in doubt, turn it off, turn it back on.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to be that close to the screaming skeleton. Yeah, I do. Oh no, another one.
Yeah, see? Yeah, get out of this. Get out of this chapel. Okay, so Marty, if you could drop a token down.
Okay, let me figure out how to do that.
Are these skeletons
Do it.
undead?
Yes, they are undead.
Ooh.
Is this a drag and drop situation? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So sorry to everyone. We're having technical
Oh, hey, there I
difficulties
am.
as is usual. Okay. So all the tokens should be down at this point.
Okay.
All right. Here's the situation.
We did it.
We did it. You walk. Let's see. Two living people walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "There's skeletons everywhere."
Oh no.
That's the situation that we're in currently. So these meandering skeletons kind of claw their way to the surface, or maybe they're just like lurking. Maybe that's your job, is just to clear them all out. It gives me a good excuse for putting you here. So we are going to try to kill your characters, but I'm gonna let you all start. Which of you two would like to go first?
Oh, how are you doing initiative in this alpha packet? Because you've gone through a couple iterations.
Yeah. So initiative works mostly narratively. Since we're kind of like jumped into this situation, and we're gonna say that you were here, like you knew that there were skeletons, and it was a problem. We're just gonna let you take the first go, and then it's
Wait,
back
so
and forth,
they-
back and forth, back and forth.
Have they seen us?
Yes.
Or can we be sneaking up on them?
Now they see you,
Oh.
just to make it easy. We're gonna keep the snappy because we got
Okay,
a
I
lot of
can go
skeletons
first.
to kill. Okay, cool. So I'm actually gonna move you. I'm gonna move you up to the top of the initiative order. Okay, ready to go.
Okay, I'm gonna use my bag of tricks, and I'm gonna do an oil slick.
Okay.
And I believe that's 15 feet. It's a 15-foot straight line. Oil tongue. Yeah, 15 feet in a straight line. Will I hit that guy that is to the left of your cursor?
Let's see, 15. No, I think you'll barely be out of reach.
Okay. Then let me see. Let me
You
scoot.
can move.
I can scoot. I'll scoot here.
Okay, that's another thing about alchemy, is that they don't yet have the ability to my knowledge, to place like area of effect stuff to show where your oil slick would be, for example.
That is true. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I will just send it straight at him, and then I will. Would it be an action to throw down my lantern, my oil lantern, or to light it?
Yeah, let's say that. I would say like an action or a technique is fine.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I use my technique to use oil tongue. So now he is standing on a line of oil, and I throw my lantern down to catch him on fire.
Okay. So this skeleton is now aflame. The spaces are burning. Sorry, suspension of disbelief. You have to just imagine that there is a line of oil. So this jester is able to, if you've ever seen like clowns at the circus, or I guess not clowns, maybe clowns, I don't know. Who does like the fire breathers do fire breathing? All right.
Yes, that.
You get it.
That's what I was
You get it.
envisioning.
That's what happens. So breathe out this line of oil and then ignite it with a lantern that's attached to her pack. So burning is that. So he's not going to take damage until the end of his turn.
Okay. Then I will take a step back. Let me scoot my person. Do.
Okay.
Okay. That is the end of my turn.
Okay. So we have, let's see, how do we move up? Let's see, next turn. Cool. All right. So it's this dude's turn.
Sure.
And they're going to let's see. It's been a while since I've used alchemy. So I'm going to talk through some behaviors real quick. It would be easier to illustrate this with a packet, and of course, you would have all sorts of other stuff in front of you. But monsters all have behaviors. Skeletons have 4. Most monsters have 4. And I'm going to roll on a table that chooses what they do, or what this one in particular will do. It's not advised that you do that. It's more like you do it if you don't know what the character would attempt to do, or if you just want to have fun. So we're going to roll it, see what it ends up doing. Okay, so this one it has a modeled short bow. It's going to make a ranged attack and plank a local target for 1d4. So I'm gonna roll its attack. It's going to hit Marnie here. And let's see. Let's use that. So 14 to hit?
Yes, that hits.
Cool. And wait, is that a 14? Oh, no, I'm sorry. It got a little bit difficult for me to suss or piece through what alchemy is doing, but it actually rolled a 1 on the attack, and then the damage was a 4. So it misses because it rolled a 1. And it's just going to continue to, it's going to clamber towards you. It has 20 feet of movement. So 5, 10, 15, 20. And it's on fire. So it's going to take the fire damage instead of putting it out. And fire damage in this game, there's a rule for it. It's a condition. It's 1d6 damage at the end of its turn. And if I, see, how do I get to my dice? Say 1d6. It's just going to roll one of these things and take 2.
Nice.
That's it. End of turn. Okay.
And the oil lasts for a minute, and I think when it's on fire, it stays until it goes out or is put out.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so this flaming skeleton is just like wandering around and wants to give you a hug. But it is your turn, Ferryman.
Okay.
I don't want to say your name because I'm pretty sure that's a swear in a different language.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is.
That was not my intention if it is.
It's okay.
I am an
just
ignorant American. All right. I guess I don't need to get that close. I'll be over here, and I'm going to cast Winter Bite at that one that's outside the fence. Meandering skeleton number 1.
Can you ping it? You can just hold down the left click. Cool. Gotcha. Okay, so you're casting. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
I like the noise it makes.
Yeah.
I like it too. One time. So you're casting Winter Bite. Is there anything that I need to do, or is it a spell attack?
It is a DC 12 strength or fort check. So strength or fortitude. So does that mean you get to decide?
Yeah. So these skeletons are just going to roll flat. So it doesn't really matter regardless. So DC 12, we're going to just roll our D20. What do we end up with? 15 passes. But it is encumbered.
Yes.
Until the start of your next turn?
Huh?
Is it until the start of your next turn?
Probably. Not have it memorized. Oh, no.
Okay, I'm going to say that it is.
Until my next turn.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it says until my next turn. Is that the start of my next turn or the end of my next turn?
It is at the start of your next turn. Sorry.
Oh, that stinks because if it's already encumbered, slowed, or weakened, it would automatically fail.
That's true.
So I feel like it would be pretty cool since we're still in
alpha. We're not going to talk about balance right now. We've got other things going on. Okay. Let's see. Moving to the next turn. So this meandering skeleton.
I should totally be able to set myself up for the next turn.
Oh,
it should be end of the next turn.
Okay, I got it. Do you want to? You're being problematic.
I don't know what you expected.
Hold on. Which one is this? Is this one? No. It is this one? Okay, well that was a wrong one. Hold on. Which one took the damage? 1. Oh my goodness.
The one next to me took the damage, right?
Yeah, but it's saying that it's okay. Well, I jacked up the turn order, so it's actually meandering skeleton number 1 that needs to go. This is going swimmingly. It's fine. Okay, so the meandering skeleton only has 10 feet of movement because it is currently encumbered. So 5, 10.
Oh,
Nice.
so that was productive. There we go.
It's helpful. And then we are going to actually roll another behavior. And again, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing it because it's fun. So we're going to roll. So unsettling attraction. So it points ominously at a target, a local target within 30 feet. And 2 closest skeletal undead nearby immediately move 5 feet toward it. So this one is going to move close to you. And this one is going to move up
There's
as well.
another one. Wait, but don't they say the 2 closest nearby 15 feet?
Yeah. Oh, 15 feet. Sorry.
They're not within 15 feet.
Oh, wait. No. 2 closest. Oh, you're right. Okay. Well,
Ooh.
yeah.
So that would be the problem with rolling necessarily, is if you roll something that's useless, I feel like.
Yeah. Right. Which is why you should pick in the majority of situations.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think
It's okay. He was confused because he's so cold.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna let that ride for now. It's fine. And then we'll just use the other skeleton. Yep.
Cold.
So 5, 10, 15, 20. This one's gonna sneak up. It looks like there is a little bit of a lip, so it actually can't really see anybody at the moment. And I think
On the map, you mean?
on the map. I think I'm taking this very easy on you for the first round here. So let's move on. Marnie, it's back up to you.
Happening.
It's me.
It me.
It me.
It me, Marnie.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm gonna orbit this guy.
Henry said we obviously need more skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
There aren't enough.
That would help me. I have a thing, but I can't use it yet. So in the meantime, I'm gonna stab him with a dagger.
Do it.
Do it. Do you want me to roll on alchemy or just roll?
It's up to you.
Okay, I like real dice.
Okay. Hey, do undead things die? Because that'd be real mean if they don't.
They, when you kill them, they crumble into dust.
Right, but for the purposes of me,
I
see. They die?
Yes,
are they dead?
They die.
Oh, good, because I get extra things when things die.
Mark says they obtain undeath marks. It's pretty good.
I hit it for 16 plus some stuff, and I do 3 piercing damage.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure this one has already...
Yeah, that one took I think it took 2 or 3 fire damage. And does it continue to take fire damage?
It will at the end of its next turn.
Oh, yes.
But you said 3? 3 damage?
Correct.
Sweet. Okay, so it's not looking so hot. All right, is that your turn?
Wait, but I thought it was on fire. It's very hot.
Okay, all right.
Yes, that's the end of my turn.
Okay, so I'm just going to say that this skeleton is going to... So the skeleton that is currently on fire... actually, it's just gonna smack you. Let's just do that.
Rude.
Yeah. So tries to smack. It rolls a natural 20.
Oof.
And then gets a 1 on the die. So you take 2 damage.
Okay.
But if you have armor that can mitigate bludgeoning, it'll do so for this.
Not bludgeoning. It only piercing and slashing.
Okay. So he thumps you for 2 damage.
Okay.
and it's not smart enough to do anything else.
Oh, a little while ago, Bark Dog figured out my naming.
Yeah. Okay.
I always
So
use Google Translate. I pick a random language. I pick like some attribute of my character, and then I just translate until I find a word that's cool. So that is exactly where it came from.
Word.
Because she's all like dark and gothic and stuff.
Okay. So it's your turn actually.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do the stabby stab because until something dies, I have no more spell slots. Excuse me, invocations.
Okay.
So I will hit it with my short sword.
Okay.
I'm also using regular dice, and I got a nat 20 for real.
Nice.
Yeah. So what does that mean in Distal? Do I double the die, or what happens?
So roll die twice, add attribute bonus twice.
Twice.
Yeah, double the dice, double the bonus.
Okay, and a short sword is dex, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. 6 plus 4 is 10. I do 10 damage.
Awesome.
Wow.
Okay, so that one just detonates. Sorry,
Excellent.
not in an awful way. And you
I'm too far away.
okay. But
Yeah,
you
so
do gain a spell
I
slot
do.
back.
Yes.
An
So I get
invocation.
an invocation back because that is how ferrymen get their invocations is from stuff dying around them. Creates a
Right.
really unhealthy Pavlovian response to death. And then it could do necrotic lash, like when something dies within 30 feet of me, I get to like whip out some magic, but it has to hit something that's within 15 feet of the thing that died, and none of the other skeletons are that close. So I'm done, is the moral
Okay.
of that story.
Cool. So let's see. This one is going to kind of just climb up this wall, 5'10", 15.
I feel like it would have been faster if you just took the stairs.
Oh, something went wrong. Okay,
Ruh-roh.
well, thanks, Alchemy. Thanks for doing that. Let me just Alchemy needs a break. Give me just a moment if you don't mind. Also, we are now, what are we? 10 minutes out from the stream end. So
Gotta
I
kill these
think.
skeletons.
Yeah.
What's that?
So we gotta kill these skeletons.
Yeah, I think that what'll end up happening is I'm just gonna throw something larger at you all.
Yeah, we got this.
Yeah.
Let's kill a thing.
Yeah, I just wanna cause problems. Okay. Let's see. Can I put something up on screen? I think I might be able to do that.
While you're doing that, just so you know, you told us to make 2 characters, so I made another character and I tried to like channel you, and I made a Tanglefolk Berserker. So
Okay.
Tanglefolk get like -1 to strength to start, and I picked like a character that's supposed to a class that's supposed to be like a tank. So
He's just
Cool.
a real
Nice.
mad little guy.
yeah,
Well, hopefully that'll work out well because Tanglefolk regenerate health.
yeah.
Just
And I took
every round.
hyper metabolism, so they get 2 health every round.
Okay.
That's
So
awesome.
I'm looking for a creature at the moment. I don't know what Alchemy was doing. It's like, yeah, something went wrong, and then nothing happened. So
Nothing went wrong. It's keeping you on your toes.
Okay. All right. I wonder if I can share this with the community. Let's see. Kitty, tell me about your alternate character.
My alternate character, I did an Atlian strategist. For my bloodline, thingy, I took eel skin. So whenever I do an unarmed attack, I can also discharge lightning. So she's like a slippery electric eel kind of thing. And so she uses a trident in one hand and a buckler in the other. And she can kind of swap places with people and to give everyone a better, battlefield advantage.
Very nice.
What's your background? What did you end up rolling for background?
Ooh, I rolled my background first before I picked her class because I think that's really fun. So I grew up without early memories, and my days were spent solving mysteries. I became a soldier the day a mysterious message appeared. So
Cool.
I thought that was fun. Yeah.
And that was for the strategist?
Mm-hmm.
What about the one you're playing now? What about Marnie?
For Marnie, I grew up on another plane, and my days were spent gathering information. I became a villain the day I failed someone I care about.
Ooh.
Real
Ouch.
dramatic. What about you?
So for I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce it, but I'm gonna say Kuro. So this is the ferryman. I grew up in a burned down house, and my days were spent plying my trade. I became a villain the day illness struck a family member. So I
Ooh.
still feel like I can wedge my ferryman favorite backstory into that background.
Yeah. There's lots going on there.
Yeah. No, and then the other one ended up really dark. So it was for the Tangle Folk Berserker. I grew up abused by my owners, and my days were spent solving mysteries. I have no idea what mysteries I would be solving. And I
Yeah.
became an adventurer the day I attended a public execution. So it's just I feel like there's a lot of darkness, and then because of those, I ended up with two nemesis contacts. So one is a family member who's hard to catch in the act and has the people on their side, and then the other one is a guild member who's employed by a monarch and has an untouchable alter ego.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, this one ended up like a character that I would definitely be interested in diving into deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the darkest of the darkest, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is our evil run.
Yeah.
All of our characters are villains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or-
I have rolled villain like 90% of the time. I hate that one. Like that particular part of the backstory. Somehow I always roll the same thing.
Thank you for stalling for time. I'm almost good. I'm gonna need to pull some shenanigans, but it should be okay.
We love shenanigans.
Everybody loves shenanigans. Okay. All right.
Got it.
Okay. We got it. Yes. Probably. Maybe. That's fine. Okay. I was. I'm still. It's all right. Everything's fine. Almost done.
Ah!
Okay. What?
It's a really sting. Ah!
You're not supposed to see that.
Sorry.
Oh no,
It's supposed to be hidden.
it's not.
Oh, what the heck? It's not even
Okay.
showing up at the turn order.
It's the same token, just double the size. It's not
Yeah,
like
well, I don't have other
Not
pictures.
surprising.
Okay, well, and nobody can see.
I know.
Okay.
Are you crying
All right. Well,
or sweating?
I'm it's
Yes.
both. Yes, exactly. Okay. Well, all right. I actually don't know how to get this onto the board, but at least you're able to somehow see it. Why is it not in the turn order? Hold on. Okay. Okay.
There's
All
3
right.
of
Well,
them, right?
1, 2,
whose
3.
turn was it?
I stabbed something with my sword and killed it, and then couldn't do necrotic lash.
Okay, so it
I
exploded.
think that's where we stalled out.
All right. So
Oh
and
yeah,
then there
your
was
guy was climbing. He was climbing up the thing, and then he got stuck.
Yes.
right on alchemy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this uh, creature is going to take a shot with the short bow at the ferryman. 12 hits, right?
Yes. My defense is
Okay.
9 because I'm wearing a
Okay.
travel cloak.
So got it. Okay, so
Is it
that's
piercing?
4 piercing. That is correct.
So how do buffers work in Alpha 6?
Okay,
How many
so
do I get to use?
so a travel cloak is a D4, right? Of
6?
oh, is it a D6?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so you roll your D6.
How many
This
uses do I get though?
well, so that's the thing, is that every
Uh,
time you roll a 1 on the die, it degrades.
okay, it's that
Yeah.
whole thing.
So just don't roll a 1.
Okay, I did not roll a 1. I got a
Okay, what'd you
3.
get?
So does that
Okay,
mean -3?
-3. So you just take 1
Oh yeah, I
damage.
have a
That's
shield
it.
too. How much damage do I take?
1 after you dropped
Okay.
3.
Henry also pointed out I have a shield, which is also good to know.
Stop
But
it,
I'm going to
Henry.
use the cloak.
Knock
We
it
use the
off.
cloak for right now. So how would the shield work? Is it the same thing?
Thank you, Todd. Yeah, so shields are actually a little bit different. We'll get into that later, but
Okay, next time.
yeah, let's just mitigate your damage. You take 1, and then we're moving on.
Yeah.
Cool. So speaking of top of the round, you hear the ground sort of churning upwards. Look back though is difficult to see through the mist that is at these beneath these terraced steps. And from out of the ground, you see a massive amalgam of black tar-like liquid that has like bone-like protrusions and sticks and just this mass of pieces just sticking out of it in various areas. It is tall and oppressively large, and in the singular, there's like a singular void at the center of its what would be maybe like an eye or rather that void would be like an eye or some sort of I don't know. It almost looks like a cyclops. If a cyclops were made of tar and bone,
Yum.
and it lets out this like guttural roar. And all of you, which I'm actually gonna pop up this handout on screen. Can I make it go? What? It was just going earlier. Make it go. Okay, nobody else look. Stop it. Everybody, let's see. Within 30 feet. So I think that's just let's see. 2. Yep, that is just you, ferryman.
Oh no.
You need to DC 12 fortitude or intelligence check.
Ooh, I got a dirty 20.
30 20. Okay, so you pass. You are fine, except that you also take 1d6 plus 3 sonic.
I can't use my shield for that, can I?
Nope.
Nope.
Actually,
1d6?
is it a
Oh,
spell?
so that means you need to roll.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a roll 1d6. Let's throw that out there. So 3 plus 3, 6 sonic damage.
What? Why?
Because them's the breaks.
Why 6?
because
Why is it doubled?
it's a 1d6 plus 3.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. The fact that it was doubled threw me off. Or that like the
Oh no,
numbers
are we?
matched.
Hold on, did the campaign already end? It didn't
No.
end, but it's still going because there's 2 on the backer train right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
so we're slightly into overtime. Yeah, keep that train going, and we'll keep playing. Okay,
Because it's
so
going so well.
mass, yeah, I'm a professional. Okay, so Colossus is 5, 10, 15, 20 starts to lumber toward you, and that is its turn. Back up to Marnie, I believe.
It's me.
Yeah, you see this thunderous creature approaching.
Oh my. Okay. Well, I want to take care of the thing that is next to me, so I'm gonna. Do I have a special thing? Possibly. But I think I will.
Oh wait,
Just
this page says it has 3 minutes left. Sorry, I'm
stab it.
interrupting.
What's that? I'm gonna stab it.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
Oh no. Does 7 hit?
Barely does not.
Sad.
It
Okay.
is a very easy creature to hit, but it is just very viscous. And you see as you actually, what weapon we're using?
Dagger.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. No, doesn't hit. Sorry, but you
Okay.
can have. Oh, we haven't been
Can I have
tracking
an
it.
unarmed? Huh?
So we haven't been tracking it, but you do have willpower also.
You're
does
right, and I want to
willpower work?
use it.
Okay.
How does willpower work in Alpha 6?
So, so willpower is you are all. You're gonna have a maximum of 2 because you're a party of 2.
I have
So
a
that's how
question
many
about
you have
that later.
currently. Yeah. So you can use 1, and each class has a willpower die. So you roll that, add the total, and that's your to hit. So since you only miss by 1, it's going to hit regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you waste the willpower.
Okay, I did.
Okay, cool. You do that.
And I hit it for 2 points.
Okay. This skeleton is, I'm pretty sure it's toast. Let's see. I wish there was an easy way to, oh, it is just barely hanging on. But you know what? It is its turn next. So is that your turn?
Yes, it is.
Do you want to move or anything?
Unless actually, so if I'm dual wield, so I don't have 2 daggers, but if I did, I could hit it again. Could I instead
punch it.
Punch it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch it, and I'm
Okay.
gonna use my claws.
Okay.
Do. I'm pretty sure that hits. 14.
Okay.
Yes.
14 definitely hits.
And 2 more points of damage.
Awesome.
Of slashing.
Okay. So this flaming skeleton dissolves into ash and bone.
Oh, good.
It was already bone. It dissolves into to less bone, more ash.
Okay, and I will move. Is this what I don't know if I'm clicking on anything. Is that a ping? I don't know. If I'm going to go down, do I have to get over the wall?
Let's see. So there is like a
Can
little.
I just go to like
Yeah,
here?
no, you'll be good.
There's 30 seconds left.
Okay.
Kill it!
Quick, kill the boss.
Where'd he go?
All right. So your turn, Ferryman, at this point.
Woo! I'm going to do the winter bite thing again. DC 12. Strength
Okay,
or
against-
fortitude check.
Against
Big
the
one.
Colossus? Oh, the big
Yeah.
one. Okay. So you said DC 12, strength or fortitude.
1.
That is it.
We did it.
We did it. All right. Well, let me take
Yeah,
a
you
quick
did
break. Yeah, we're gonna pause this real quick, and also the combat music.
Woohoo.
So, yay. Okay. So thank you all for Woodrick has the final tally here for us. Thank you all for hanging out. This has been a very crazy past month I guess, of just the campaign in general. Definitely some highs and lows, but you all came through at the end, and I am very appreciative. I can't wait to hire out the artists, get all the work laid out, and into a good book looking form. And it'll be so cool to just get hardcovers in people's hands. I'm super excited about that. Just being able to create something and then send it all over the world.
Yeah.
Wicked dope. Yeah,
That's
I'm super
awesome.
excited. Thank you very much to these guests here. Do you want to keep playing and kill the Colossus? Or
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm down.
Okay. I just want
Yeah.
to see if I can kill your characters. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm already
So for
dead.
are you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Like your health it can't be that low.
Wait a
So you
second.
took 2 and then you took 6 on the
No,
top,
I
so 8
just
total.
meant like the whole ferryman thing.
Oh, got it.
Like,
Got it.
I'm dead
Okay.
inside.
Okay. Well, thank
Ooh,
you.
Duty S numbers asked a question that would be good to answer.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Duty.
Is there a way to buy materials after the backer kit campaigns ends? So now that the campaign has funded, yes, it'll a pre-order store will be open. Actually, let me see if it just refresh. Yeah, so actually, if you refresh the campaign, the button will be still there. You can click on it. You can go to a pre-order, like a separate pre-order store, and then there will still be some availability. And I'm going to close down the shop when I need to put the actual orders in to send out and get the books printed. So until that point, you're cool. Now that we've actually funded, because it wouldn't have happened otherwise, now pre-orders are possible. So
And how long do you anticipate, as your best guess right now, how long the artwork will take, which we'll be able to just get, and the beta and everything? I think there was a timeline in here.
There is.
some point.
I'll go back real quick to just to very quickly run through that, or go back to the slide here. Okay, so yeah, so final Q4 2024. So this year we should be entering the final beta. Do just a quick proof. It'll be like all hands on deck. We're going to try to just make sure everything is tight, and then art should be completed around that time period with the amount of that I'm looking to fund. It's going to be a massive endeavor. Multiple artists will be involved, and there could be hangups, but I hope not. Been kind of forming some relationships with people, and I think that it's very, very doable, I'll say. Digital edition, so it'll be the complete game with the art included. Should ship in December is my current timeline. And then the actual hardcovers, the book, it'll be going through the production process Q1, Q2, and should ship, fingers crossed, around May of 2025. So that's the entire timeline start to finish. I'm going to remain in contact through updates if there are any changes to shipping, and also probably just once a month to let you know like where the state of things are, if things are looking good, and kind of just keep you in the loop. That's the goal. And if anything changes, I'll be the first to let you know.
I don't know who else would let us know.
Yeah. I'll be the first and the last to let you know. Cool. Let's see what else we got going on. Any other questions? I think. Hey there. How you doing? The first one, Josh, to join from the Facebook page. Nice to have you. Fast Think. Thank you. Worked out. I'm not sure what the 3 minutes is about. Hopefully not about getting the art done. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna jump back into combat. I'm gonna kill your characters, and then we'll be good for the night.
No.
No.
Good. There, I would be very, very surprised if you were able to somehow kill this amalgam colossus.
Welcome of mozzarella sticks. I won't let it go. Now I want them.
Amalgam mozzarella sticks.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Whose turn were we up to?
I was
I
trying
think
to
I
freeze
just
it.
moved that.
Okay, you were trying to freeze it, and then
Yeah.
it rolled an 11. What did I need to beat?
12.
Okay, so it does what? I can't remember what spell you used.
do 2d8 damage. Cold
Oh, from Winter Bite.
damage.
Okay.
And it is encumbered. Ooh, do I add modifiers?
For
Well, damage.
no, you do not.
No. Boo. 11 damage to the Colossus.
Okay. So it's gonna drop this. Is that an 11?
11.
That's a good hit.
Is this an actual wall?
You went through the gate.
Yeah, I know, but is it an actual wall? Or is it like all broken
Yeah.
down and stuff?
Yeah. Like it's
Like, is it providing
have
how
cover?
tall is it? Am I
Oh
protected?
no, there's no cover. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm still
No,
there.
it's fine. We'll just say that it's deteriorated.
Okay.
Okay. It is up to this little baby skeleton. Who is gonna? You know what? I'm gonna let's see. 5, 10. It's just gonna run over to you, Marnie, and then you see it kind of rattle a little bit, and then it detonates into a cloud of dust and just like white powder bone, and
Seems
it
a little
starts
dramatic.
getting into your mouth and start choking on it. So
Cool. Great.
yeah, I think that you have to. Let's say what is it here? DC 10 fort or intelligence check.
Ooh, okay. I will do fortitude because I get a +1 and so that's a 19.
Okay, so 19 passes. You're able to curtail the effects of just being berated by this nasty, disgusting bone.
Wait, and are the effects that she just can't talk for a minute?
Well, muted. Yeah, if she was a spellcaster, it would have more effect.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see.
2 on 1.
Silver.
We got this.
That's an old name. Haven't seen you forever. Let's see. Henry says cool, but also gross.
Yes.
That's indeed. Yep. Like talcum powder. It's a mouthful of talcum. Okay. And now it's up to the Colossus. So what's the Colossus going to do? Let's figure it out.
Oh.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
I was going to ask
Don't
Kitty
look,
if she
close your
wanted
eyes.
to move, but it wasn't her turn.
I got closer on purpose.
Oh.
Now you're going to get deaded on
Now I'm going to
purpose.
get myrtleized.
Ooh, but I'll get a spell slot.
Okay.
I need an invocation.
Okay, so by current rules, you do not. It says dead characters, not dying characters. So you have to wait for her death marks to tick down.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, but that wait, but that thing just killed itself.
Yep. Spell slot for
Yeah.
you.
So I want to do spell slot for me. Invocation for me. And then I want to do necrotic
Oh, yeah.
flash.
Yeah,
5, 10,
do the
15.
thing.
15 feet.
Cool. Do the thing. Okay, so as the creature like detonated and its spirit started to evaporate, the ferryman's like, no, you have things left to do.
Nay.
Nay, says I, and throws it into the Colossus.
But
So
I rolled a
what-
d20 with anima or planar, right?
That's right. Or if you have a spell
17.
focus, which you probably do. You have a spell focus?
I have a curio. It's fine. I got a 17.
Okay. That hits.
Okay, and then I roll 1d8 plus wisdom spirit damage. 8 damage total
Okay. So
with my
spirit.
necrotic lash.
Okay.
Yeah.
So spirit resistant. You see that the
Oh.
for seemingly obvious reasons. Reverberation. So sorry, you said 8, right? Half to 4.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But that's free. I mean, aside from your reaction, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's oops. No, don't do that. Okay. 1, 2. Nope. Oh man, I'm okay. Oh geez. Oh man.
Everything is
Oh
fine.
geez, Rick. Okay.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
Okay. Now it is the
Me.
Wait, now
When
is it the
mine?
Colossus turns? I don't think I've gone yet.
Oh,
Okay.
it
All right.
doesn't
So
need to go. Sorry.
you
I
see
hope
the
fasting
Colossus.
doesn't mean us because we're fine.
What?
I said I hope fasting doesn't mean us because we're fine.
The Colossus is going to do one of these things. Let's see. It's going to try to. Okay, so you see the that void that's in the center of its face, finger quotes. It's going to hone in on Marnie, and you feel like that gaze is oppressive, and it's just burdening you with some sort of spiritual energy, I guess. So we're going to make a spell attack and see if we can pass that.
I don't like that it's described as meaty.
It's a meaty boss.
Meaty boss.
So what is my okay +3? Let's see 1d20. And I'll add my okay 6. Well, that misses. It's still got a number close to you. What 5, 10, 20. Oh, that's all it's got. Okay, that's it. It's back up to Marnie. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, now we only have
massive creature
one
looming. Could probably just sit on you.
Please don't. Okay, so I have a question about the Jester. So I have an ability called Springy, which while I'm airborne, I do not provoke opportunity attacks. I also have a technique called Bunny Hop, where I can bounce 10 feet away. Can I combine those?
Yes.
I'm going to do that.
Okay, so one thing that we didn't check in on the first time is that when you when you used a trick, it now uses ammo, and you have a die to roll. I
did do that earlier, but we didn't talk about it. But I rolled the die is a D8. I rolled a 6, unless you want me to just roll again for funsies.
So just roll here.
Oh, do I roll it each time?
Yes. So each time you use the trick.
Oh,
so
okay.
So the ammunition in this game is kind of abstracted. It represents how much you have left, but you roll a D8. If you roll a 1, then it'll degrade to a D6. If you roll a 1 on a D6, it degrades to a D4. Okay. If you roll a 1 on a D4, you're out of ammo. So there's these kind of like increasing percentages of using resources.
Okay.
What'd you get?
I just dropped my die.
Oh no.
I don't know where it went. So I'm gonna.
Well, we'll come back to you.
Alchemy.
That's yeah. You can do that on your own time. Are you?
Oh, okay. But it is my turn.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Which? Now I'm confused. Which technique did you use? Bunny hop. So you're just gonna bounce away.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and you can just roll the ammo die after this off screen.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna bounce my butt over here.
Okay.
And maybe take another. Oops.
What's your lineage again?
I'm a wild walker.
Okay.
So from over here, I'm going to use my sling. Okay. And I'm gonna shoot it. I was hoping there would be more enemies on the field for
I can make more.
for a different thing I had. No, it's fine. 12 to hit.
Hits.
Awesome. So since that has ammo, am I rolling ammo after I hit something the same way I just did?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so first damage, which
Yeah, and
is
so since those mechanics are kind of just like personal, it's more like upkeep for you. So
Okay,
I don't
got it.
necessarily need to stop the combat to wait for that roll. I
Okay.
just keep rolling, moving on.
So 7 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. And it's actually also resistant to bludgeoning.
How dare you?
Which is, if it were just an undead creature, if it's just a skeleton, they're like vulnerable to that. But this is more like an ooze than anything else. So you said 7, and then we round it down to 3.
Okay.
Nope. That's a big skull. Oh my god. Oh man.
Oh man.
Okay.
Oh jeez.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So back up to Ferryman's turn.
Okay. Can I use bone rattle as a technique?
Nope.
Why?
So you could. It just would be ineffective given the situation.
Why?
Because it is mostly meant as, or just read the spell. That's my answer. Read the spell.
But it's you calm the restless dead.
Right.
As a technique, conjure a handheld charm that keeps calm or helps calm the restless dead. Influence or stealth checks made against undead may be re-rolled once. So I can try to influence it and coerce it to go away.
So you can do that. However, given the circumstances of this situation, I'm going to say that this thing is some sort of corruption that is seeped into this place, and is probably the cause of the skeletons being disturbed. You know, all the normies that have popped up.
Taking away.
I am rerouting you to more interesting alternatives than scaring the big colossus away.
I'm going to try to make it cold again.
Okay, make it cold again.
Because either that or I'm just going to conjure a cooking pot and hit it over the head. I don't have a lot of options.
It sounds pretty great.
Okay.
So
DPS.
DC 12. Yeah.
Okay. And I have a +3 on that. Okay, I'm good. So I'm just encumbered. So my movement was 25, but it is rounded down to is just 10 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna back up more, and then I guess I'm done.
Yeah, big lumbering creature. Okay, 5, 10. It goes there, and then it's also going to, I think, as it goes through this pillar, it pulls part of the wall and wields it like a massive club. And it's doing nothing currently, but that was its behavior, is that it's like pulls this big stone pillar out of the ground, and it's gonna, bad things will happen.
That's fun.
Okay. It's up to Marnie. Also, if you wanted to, you could switch out characters. That is a thing that you could. That is a thing that you could do if you were like wanted to explore other opportunities.
Yeah. Let's switch it up. So let me see if I can just.
Unless it's going to be disruptive, in which case.
Let me do one more turn as Marnie, and after my turn, as you guys are doing stuff, I'll switch to my other character.
Okay.
Thank
you, Okoa.
Yeah. As Marnie, I will do. Let's set it on fire again, because that's fun. So I'm going to oil tongue. It's within 15 feet of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will use my lantern like a fire breather and light it on fire again.
Okay. So it is currently a flame, which is a good thing to do. So burning in this game, I'm a big fan of fire, evidently, because it happens in a lot of different places. But when something is on fire, they need to be able, or they need to put it out. And you can do that by using an action, which is a big investment. Or if you're prone, you could use that as a technique, which is like a bonus action in Dungeons and Dragons 5e. However, monsters only have one behavior that they conduct every turn. So using, like, setting things on fire is probably a really good idea, because it would just be like persistent damage at that point.
Okay. Then that is my turn, and I will go swap characters while you guys do stuff.
Okay. So Yaga says the stone wall club is on fire. Bark says the flaming meaty colossus, which, yeah, there's lots of. It's big and scary and on fire. Okay, so ferryman, it is your turn.
Okay. Well.
I could bring in smaller skeletons if you wanted to.
No.
Have problems. Okay, I just want to hit you with a big stone pillar.
Okay. Well, I guess you're gonna be able to, because I don't have more spell slots, because there's nothing more to kill, and I can't tell it to just go lay down.
Right.
So I'll come over here and get
very,
hit.
very much not tired.
What if I rolled a nat 20? All right, I hit it with my sword.
Okay, fine.
I missed it with my
the dragon.
sword. Okay, you have to roll. I think.
Wait, what do I do?
I don't know. I roll. I try to persuade it to go lay down somewhere.
Why? Okay, you. Okay,
I don't think I got enough. I got
please don't do that. Please
I got
hit
an 11. It's probably not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. I also missed with my short sword, so now I'm just gonna sit here and get squished.
Okay, cool. You're getting the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Colossus.
Use your willpower.
What'd you roll on the?
I rolled
short sword.
Thank you,
I got
Henry.
a 5.
A 5.
Yeah.
So I'll say right now that its defense is 8. So if you
how
can,
does the willpower work in this one again?
So you, as a ferryman, have a D. I think you have a D10, or is it D10 or D8?
D8.
Okay, so if you can get 3, you're gonna hit it with your short sword.
So
and then I'm
roll
gonna
the
hit
D8?
you. Yeah, you just roll the D8.
All right, I will use one.
Okay.
I got a 7.
Okay, so the short sword hits. Do your minuscule amount of damage to me.
You know what? How do you get backstab?
If you are obscured, which.
Oh, I thought it was if you're flanked.
Yeah, the flanking rules went out the window.
Oh,
I just got rid of them. 4
damage. He's
okay,
in
but
so
4
much pain right
slashing. Okay. Okay. So slowly but surely. All right. Well, this Colossus is going to, I think, take a step up and move past you a little bit, and then it's going to. I'll show the audience. So uproot. It tears a tree, stone pillar, similarly imposing object off the ground, wielding it as a deadly weapon. Pound now strikes 4 targets and has 5 feet more reach. If you roll 1 on any of the damage die, the object breaks. So it's going to use Pound. It's going to crush 2 nearby. That's targets within 10 feet for 2d6 plus 3 bludgeoning.
Yes.
So let's see if it even rolls high enough to hit you.
It's not going to be hard.
Okay. And it has a +3. 7 plus 3.
To who? Oh.
So 10.
Who?
Both of you.
Oh, at the same time?
Yep.
well.
Okay, so that
Can I
hits.
use my
'cause
shield?
Yes,
You
it does.
absolutely can.
Doesn't shield just
It
mitigate
mitigates
damage?
damage. It does.
Okay. And when I was reading shield, it does say regardless of damage type.
Right. Yep.
So
So
I
you
could have used it for solar, right?
For Sonic.
only if it's an attack.
Oh, but not
Yeah.
a spell.
Right.
Okay, got it.
But a spell attack, yes, because a spell is also a spell and an attack.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to use my shield too.
Okay, cool.
Baba Yushki had a question.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. Are there any plans for implementing rules to help GNs with creating their own monsters, or will it be more of a cross-referencing and reflavoring of monsters? So there absolutely will be rules. I don't think that they're going to live in the core rules. I think that will be supplemental material in the Distal digest, the digest that comes out every month.
Cool. Do I get to roll my d6 now? For the
let me do the damage real quick. And I apologize for having to check this thing every so often. Okay. So pulling the stick out of the ground is probably not super important, but it was very dramatic. So okay, so I roll twice. I do roll a 1. So as it swings around, does like circular motion, the stone pillar slams into one of you and shatters upon the shield. So 10 damage total.
To both of us?
To both of you, and that's bludgeoning.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
well, I mitigated 3. So I take 7.
I mitigated 5.
Cool. All right, so how is the ferryman's health looking?
I'm fine.
Okay, you're fine. Both. How's the other one's health looking?
I'm all right. That was the first. This is my new character, so, and she appeared and got smacked.
Okay. So for everybody at home, the tag team swapping characters thing, not an actual mechanic. We're just doing it for fun. This isn't Super Smash Brothers or Marvel vs. Capcom SNK, anything like that.
But Bark Dog, you're not in charge of the mott sticks. Rel is. Don't worry about it.
Let's see. Who's he swinging at first?
Yeah, does it break on the first one of us? Because then he can't hit the second one.
Yeah.
No, it can always hit 2 targets. Pulling out of the ground just increases the reach and lets you hit 4 targets. So.
Okay.
So I didn't really need to do that given this combat, but again, it was very dramatic.
What?
And that's the only time it's going to happen.
Broken,
everything else,
so he doesn't get to use it again.
But he's not going to be able to use it again.
I thought he picked up a big rock.
That's what that was. The stone, like some sort of pillar, and he smashed everybody with it.
And I got confused.
Okay, it's a stick made of stone.
A stone stick.
Yeah. So you took the damage. You're good. Everybody is evidently fine. There's no issues. It's up to
about
not Marnie.
25% of a good day.
Cool.
You probably don't want to refresh, but if you refresh, it'll change my name from Marnie to Pella.
Okay. Well, as long as you can still control your character, I think it's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Is this considered a large creature?
It is.
Okay, then I cannot use my maneuver, which is fine. I want to see what lightning does to it, so I'm gonna go up to it and punch it and see what happens.
Okay.
16?
15.
Okay.
Hits,
and my unarmed is on the other page. I'm pretty sure it's a D4 though.
Yeah,
it's a D4 plus Dex, and then a D6 of lightning. Because I have eel skin.
Yeah, for using your reaction.
Yeah. So 4 points of bludgeoning
Okay.
and 4
that's-
points of lightning.
Okay, so it's going to take 6 total because the bludgeoning is resisted.
Okay, but it's not resistant to lightning.
Nope.
Cool.
Okie dokie. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
Um.
Oh, you can punch it with your. So. What,
Oh yeah,
what
I can
weapon do
punch
you
it
have
with
in
my
your hand?
buckler. I
Yeah.
have my trident.
Okay, so
Oh, you're right. So I could only do one of the things.
right. So you would not have made an unarmed attack. We're just going to roll it over and say that you hit it with a shield.
Okay.
And
Or I can
know what?
keep my trident. You know, I can just
Yeah.
not have my trident drawn and then
Let's do
draw it
that.
on my next turn.
Yep, that's
Okay.
all good.
Cool. Then we'll go with that. So
Okay.
can I punch it with my shield?
Yes.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Which is a D4. Okay. 17 to hit.
Hits.
And 2 bludgeoning damage, probably reduced to 1.
Yes, it is indeed reduced to 1.
Okay. And now I'm done.
Okay. Fast think. It says my boy Colossus needs some reinforcements, which I think. Okay, so I'm about to change the game a little bit, but it is first the ferryman's turn.
Okay. I hit it with my short sword.
Okay. Are you so you're not going to swap out character?
No.
Okay. All right. I can't
Never
wait.
Die.
Stab it in the face.
I stab it in the face.
Okay.
13.
13 hits.
And then I do the wait, how do I get backstab again? Sorry.
You're gonna need to be in shadow or otherwise obscured, which will be very difficult for you in the particular situation.
Okay. I hit it for 3.
Okay.
Death
So you
by
hit
a
it for 3.
thousand cuts.
All right. I'll take the 3.
Down.
Okay. All right. So that happens. It's down to half. It's going to bellow. It casts a spell. So this eldritch roar, guttural scream. It deals damage. You can't avoid it. So I mean, technically, I could just keep jamming that the entire time, and eventually it would kill you. But it doesn't seem super interesting. So roll a DC 12, Fortitude or Intelligence.
I got a nat 20. I
Okay,
take no
so
damage.
You still take the damage,
Boo.
which I think I'm gonna end up changing that because the trade off is too good. We're not gonna do that.
I got
now,
a 9.
Okay, so you, the Atlian, you're dazed and encumbered. So dazed meaning that you can't use your reaction and you can't use techniques, and that is until my next turn.
Boo.
So no shocky hands, no switching weapons.
Okay. How much damage did we take? I'm sorry.
Let me get that for you.
Oh, okay.
So that is 1d6 plus 3, which ends up being 8 sonic and stuff.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 8 sonic.
Okay.
And that is its turn. I mean, it's just chilling. So it's up to Marnie. Oh, I'm sorry. This thing is also on fire.
You're right.
Yeah, remind me about that because I gotta roll 1d6 of damage every turn.
Yeah.
Unless I use a turn to put it out, which seems like it'd be problematic. 4. Okay, so it takes 4 fire damage.
Good.
All right, whittle it down.
Okay. So I can only do an action, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring in another skeleton. I really want to do that, just to keep it interesting. Because he's gone through all of his stuff and
Why can you
bosses
do
are-
that when my other one was out? Because she has prestige and that does things.
Right.
Yeah, but that's okay. So can I punch it with my fist and my shield? That's
yes, you can.
one action. I just can't do the electric shock.
That's correct. Fast Thing says, "Did the amalgam's physical attacks have fire damage?" They do not.
Because it's
They
on
do
fire.
Right. It does not.
Okay. Good.
It seems like fun, but unless I have proper rules for it, I don't want to make a call that I regret later.
For my unarmed, I rolled a 12.
Okay, hits.
Okay.
Anything above an 8 is going to hit. Just for.
Oh, okay. They
awareness.
both hit, so I'm just gonna roll them both real quick. I think the unarmed is with strength or dex? Oh, dex, because it said either or. Dex and dex. Okay. Okay, so me 6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. So it's gonna
And
do this
I
to
will keep my dazed self there and be done.
Okay. Novi says that the attacks could cauterize wounds. Let's go the other direction. Just heal you.
Yes.
Okay, so Ferryman's turn. This is one of those fights that you don't want to be in because it's such a slog. Like I sent a really high level monster at you just because it was mildly amusing. But realistically, this is just going to be a punching bag of hit points until somebody dies.
So, well, I died, but that's okay because
What? You died?
No, I was dying.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's okay because I immediately stabilize at the start of my next turn and regenerate Deathmarks' number of health, which I now
Right.
have 2 Deathmarks, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Wait. So you already went down?
Yeah.
Then got back up? Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now
I
I'm
guess-
up with 2 hit points,
Mhm.
and now my max health is up by 2, right? Oh, from Death Pact.
Technically, no, because. Well, okay. Well, I guess technically yes.
Oh, technically yes.
Yeah, because you're supposed to handle your skills, your permanent scarring after. Like after combat ends, so that it doesn't get bogged down.
Okay.
These seem like shenanigans. I like that we're finding edge cases. Thank you for
'Cause
being a
this
problem.
is I'm just gonna keep like dropping until I
Right.
get to the point. And I took Death Pack, so I have 13 max Death Marks. So
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
just keep
I'm just
bouncing
gonna keep
down and back up.
just bonking you on the head, which means that I need to bring in another creature so that I can execute you. That's
Yeah,
what it seems
or
like.
you can give me more spell slots so I can do something better than poke at it with my freaking D6.
Well, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules.
What? So do
What
I
would you
have
like?
two more max health or no? It doesn't matter. I'm never gonna get.
It
back
doesn't
up
matter,
there. Yeah. All right. I hit it with
and it's
my
your max
short-
health anyway. What's
Yes, I hit it with my short sword.
that? Okay, hit it with your short sword. You problem player.
I hit it, and
okay.
I got like 17 or something. I don't know. And then
Hits.
I hit it for 5.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, you bonk it. All right,
bonk
and
it.
it's gonna hit you back. So it's just gonna roll
That's
an attack.
And it misses, right? Wait, how much does it
Okay.
add?
9 is total.
Meets it, beats it.
Meets it, beats it.
All right,
Yeah.
I got hit.
Okay.
Oh, no!
So it moves you, and you're back down.
Oh no.
Okay, go to sleep. But it also.
Well, how much did it hit me for? I have 2 hit points.
Oh, you also have a shield.
Oh, I have a shield.
Right.
I used
So
my
let's.
buckler.
I guess. Yeah. Let's roll the damage. Let's see what happens. Because it is going to. Actually, I don't think you're going to.
Oh no, I rolled a 1.
No. Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. Well, yeah. So your shield is also compromised, so it'll be a
Yeah.
D4 next time.
Going
Okay. Go to sleep. And then Pella,
go sleep.
it's your turn.
Okay. Okay. Did it take its fire damage?
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Burn.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. It's very important.
Burn.
What am I doing? I'm taking a
Burning.
D6 of fire damage. Roll faster. 4 damage. Okay.
Yay. And I'm
Oh,
no
oh,
longer
sorry.
encumbered and etc. Right?
Yes. So you're good now.
Okay, cool. So now I take out the trident
Okay.
and I stab it.
Okay. One-handed though, since you have a.
Yes, it is one-handed. So because I know I had my buckler, so I only wrote down the one-handed damage.
Okay.
Which is gonna hit with a 14, and then it's a D8. Boo, a 1 plus. So that's 2 damage, and then I'm gonna hit it with my buckler as well.
Okay.
Which is a 19, a dirty 20, and a D4. Rolls better if I throw it in the air. 4 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. So 4 damage total.
Okay.
Okay. Slowly but surely.
Beep, beep,
It,
beep, beep.
all right. It is now Ferryman's turn. You stabilize. Or actually, so you're out this round.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're
Why?
always out at least one round. You don't
Oh, well,
fall
I didn't
down
do that
and then
last
pick back up.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, what's your fortitude?
1.
Okay. So yeah. So next turn you're going to be back up. But if you go down again, it's going to be 2 rounds that you're out.
Why?
Because so it caps at 5, but it's based on the amount of death marks that you have. Like
Okay, what,
minus
don't I get to
fortitude.
do something while I'm down?
No,
Why?
the death actions got removed in
Boo!
Alpha 6.
That was cool.
Oh, yeah.
It is cool, just like many things that we think are cool, but also forget about. And I really
didn't
wanted.
forget. I very much
Okay.
remembered because I still want to turn even while I'm dying.
Okay. I think you're a special case because you're just constantly playing a character this close to death.
No?
Are we taking suggestions from chat? Because apparently now there's a mozzarella cannon.
Yeah, I feel like that's at least 6d4.
Okay. Listen, there's no mozzarella nothing because I'm
Unless
about
it's like
to.
the sampler
to knock
platter,
Pella
then you
down.
only get 4d4 because there's only 4.
Yes.
Not
Okay.
6
All
on the
right.
sampler.
I'm rolling d20. Wait, was it my turn? I'm assuming it was my turn.
I don't know.
I didn't get to do anything.
No, because I.
Rules.
Oh
The
yeah.
chaos.
Okay, so 14 hits Pella. I'm
Rude.
assuming.
Why? Yes.
Okay, with so it uses pound, and it's going to do 5 plus 3, I think. Bludgeoning.
I negate 3, so I only take 5.
Cool. Okay, and then it's gonna. Yeah, I'm having a hard time keeping track of whose turn it is. But it'll take the fire damage.
4, 5,
There's
keep this
only
nice.
3 of us.
Nice and tidy. I know, but it takes 5 fire damage. It should probably put out the fire.
No.
Now that the jester is gone, it should probably put out the fire.
Pella's over here like,
Okay,
I didn't
Pella's-
start the fire. Anyway.
So Pella's turn again.
Okay.
It's got 15 health left.
15.
Yay!
I'm
Yeah.
Get up and
gonna.
poke it.
Is my trident metal?
Yes? Question mark.
I want.
Why are you asking
Because
that
metal
question?
is conductive.
Which nope, that's not how that works.
I know.
Okay.
I just want it to be how that works.
All right.
Okay. Do. Okay. Then I'm gonna stab it and punch it.
Okay, stab and punch.
Or should I go back to the unarmed punching because of the lightning damage?
I think that you would have better damage efficacy with the punch and lightning.
Okay, then I'm just gonna drop my trident. Does that cost any extra action?
Actually, you know what? I'm wrong because your lightning is a d6.
Lightning is a
Right.
d6.
And
If
then the
I
bludgeoning
deal
from the punch would
damage.
be halved anyway.
Yeah, but then I still get full. I don't know. And my
No,
trident is
use
the
the
d8,
piercing.
so I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
use the trident.
Okay.
Math.
So dirty math rocks. Dirty 20
Hits.
and okay, so that's the only one that hits. The buckler does not hit. 3 plus math. 4 piercing damage.
Okay. It takes it.
That is it.
Okay. So it takes the
Unless
4.
I can also kick it.
You cannot. And then Ferryman is back up,
Haha.
prone, laying on the ground. I'm not
get
dead
up.
yet. Oh, was it 5?
No, I'm sorry. That was her springing back to
Okay.
life.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Can I roll my dice?
Okay.
Okay.
What? Yeah. Stand up.
I got enough, and I got 5. No. What am I doing? Yeah, 5 damage.
Kill it.
Oh, okay. That's very good.
Okay,
It is
and
down
then,
to 6 health. Oh,
wait,
okay.
what is disengage? Is that an action?
No, it's just 15 feet of movement. But you already stood up using 15 feet of movement. Also,
No,
you can punch people with
yeah.
your shield.
Wait, no, I stood up using 15 feet. Oh, I can do that as like a technique?
What, hitting people with your shield?
Yeah.
No, it's part of your attack. You attack with both
Oh.
weapons.
Well, then I'm going to attack with both weapons. I will bludgeon the thing. I have to roll the d20 again, right? Quick,
Quick, the basilisk.
Yeah.
No,
Dang
Dark
it!
Dog, no.
And from the chapel ruins.
So
I was here
shield.
for it.
I did not hit with my shield, but I
But-
only used 15 feet of movement, and I have 35. So I'm gonna
Okay. So you can
use-
step.
I'm trying to move
Yes.
it on the screen share thing. I'm gonna. So that means I have 10. So okay. So I used 15 to get up, 10 to disengage. So now I'm gonna
Okay.
back up.
Oh,
go
you have
the
the
wall.
bloodline that
Unnaturally
reduces your.
quiet.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna back up a little bit. And
Okay.
Maybe not go down.
Very
Can
good.
Can I jump over the wall? No. Is the wall still there?
What the wall is still there.
I'll just back up to here.
Well, it's fine. You're good right there.
Too. Okay.
Okay. Is it Colossus's turn yet? Because
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be dead. Okay.
Good.
So it is going to. I should have been doing other stuff. Okay. Well,
Oh no.
it's fine. Okay. So I'm gonna. So that blighted gaze bears down on you again. It's a spell attack, and it's going to. It's not going to put the ferryman down. Whatever. You could be over there somewhere. So it's going to attempt to break your will. And I'll roll a d20, see if it hits Pella. D20 plus 3, please. 5, okay. 8 misses. Well, and I guess I'll burn to death.
Yay!
That's the thing. Well, I don't know yet. Let's see. Let's roll the
Couldn't he
Yay.
put it
d6.
out? Could he
I
use
only
his
have-
turn to put it out if he knows he's going to die?
He could have. Also, it's probably not that smart. I just hope I don't hit 6. Okay, so 2. So I take 2 fire damage. I have 4 health left.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
I'm gonna
Pella, it is your
lightning
turn.
punch it.
Punch it with your lightning.
I'm gonna punch it with my lightning.
Okay.
Natural
Suddenly
20.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Why don't you do the everything?
So lightning is 12 damage, and the punching is 8 damage.
Okay, so
Why couldn't I do that earlier?
so the lightning is an added effect,
Yes.
so it wouldn't be multiplied.
Oh, okay.
The
then
punching would
it
be, though.
is 8 plus 6, 14.
Okay, cool. Dead.
It's dead.
Yay!
I tried it, and
Yay!
it turns
Yay,
into mozzarella
sticks!
sticks. Yay!
It turns into mozzarella sticks.
The cheese
Everyone's a winner,
oozes out.
especially the basilisk that's in the ruins.
No!
Okay, well, that was
When are we going to Applebee's?
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen at some point. All right, I'll get everybody their mozzarella sticks.
Ship 'em
So
with the
ferryman, just kind of as a battle recap here. You both would have been very dead,
Mm-hmm.
Why?
right?
We're
So
fully capable.
okay, so because we swapped out into a new character midway. Is that
Okay.
okay?
Well, but
Right.
I didn't do that.
No.
I survived.
Yeah. So that's good. I'm wondering. So Pella, what's
I
your
have-
health currently?
All kinds of cool scars.
For the record, when I swapped out, I was only 2 points down.
Okay.
But Pella's health is currently... Oh, it popped back up, and I don't know why. But I was down to like 11.
Okay.
So not dead.
Not
Yeah.
dead.
So looking pretty okay. So it is a boss encounter that is meant to be fought with other creatures. Actually, so it's meant to be paired with some amalgam, which are like little blob things that would be given it support, and also they can sacrifice themselves to heal the colossus.
No.
Sounds like invocations for me.
Yeah.
I could have fought better if I had more spell slots.
Yeah. The ferryman is looking. I don't want to say problematic, but it is interesting that they'd be able to pull off this groundhog style behavior for a significant amount of time in their
Well,
first combat,
Yeah, okay, so
and then they'd be ruined after that as a character.
well, yeah. Well, but what happens, like, I only had 2 skill points to pip off, and I lost
Yeah,
them
we need to
both,
figure out a
so I would
solution
just
for that still.
have no skill points left, or
I think what'll happen is that we might need to. Yeah, some thought needs to go into that for
that's
sure.
why it's an alpha test.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then so if okay, so each time it would have gotten longer before I could get back up, which would
Right.
would have started to really create problems for other party members.
Mhm.
And then what are the rules with, like, so if I'm wait, so I stabilize and then it takes a little while to reawaken. So when I'm
Right.
stabilized, do I have no, I haven't regenerated health yet. So
Mm-hmm.
if it were to Hulk smash me while I was down, is there a point in there? Like, am I super vulnerable where I would get killed
Yes.
outright? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's only problematic if you're not being aggressive and
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that it could do. I think how it would have behaved is that it probably would have killed Pella first, just because it's a living creature,
Mm-hmm.
and then probably executed you both after. So, yeah, cool.
That's a nice note to end on.
Yeah. With that said, thank you so much for hanging out with this with us in this extremely long combat, and also the rest of everything that came before it. Play Alpha 6. Give me feedback. Join the development Discord, and we'll see where it goes. Super fun. Thank you very much for special guests, and I think that's where we call it.
Yeah, we did
Thank
it.
you.
Yay!
Yay! Mozzarella sticks
And
for everyone.
Yay!
Yay! Okay. See you all.
Artwork. I'm excited to see the artwork.
Me
Me
too.
too.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. All right. See ya.
Okay, bye.
Bye.